move. Damn, you can barely see me, bro. Oh shit. Don't look at the man behind the curtain. Hey, let me do it this way. And then I'll just move over here a little bit. No, right here. There we go. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. If it's a Monday morning, y'all already know the forecast is gonna be a shitstorm. I'm your host, Aries Bookman, and good to see y'all in the chat, man. Good to see y'all in the chat. Society Eject said he in traffic, but he's still getting shitted on, man. You're in the perfect spot for the show. Perfect spot. Everything happens for a reason. Aaliyah, good to see you in the chat. Morning with a big dose of the shitstorm. You already know. Put it in your coffee. Put it in your coffee. The boy Darkness, Donnie, good to see you, man. Donnie, I'm very happy you're here today. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Yeah, black ass hoodie. It's kind of slightly chilly. You know, the chilliness is coming around. I ain't put on socks. But you can like almost not see me. Ooh. That looks spooky as fuck. Ryan, good to see you in the chat. Welcome to the show, man. All right, y'all. Today I want to talk about the tree of life. The Kabbalah, the tenfold pattern. But I have to do something else first. Yeah, I got to. Tradition, right? This is episode, what is it, 49? Yeah, it's episode 49. I think I'm going to keep the banner up there and no, come on, change it. Come on, change it. Don't be that much of a dick. I know it's funny. I'm going to keep the part about Aries as a dick. I'm going to keep that part because I think there's a general consensus among the audience. Oh, shit. But yeah, this is episode 49. I told you I was going to do 52. And I'm going to do 52. But that's going to be the end of the shitstorm, y'all. The sky going to clear the fuck up. But we're going to do a different show. We're going to do a different show. We're going to the playground, y'all. We're going to the playground. And I say that figuratively, but we got to do even more than fundamentals, man. But it's gonna be good. We gotta have another show. It's all right. I'm gonna give y'all all the details. The group is gonna be behind it, so you can get involved and do what you'd like to do. Especially you, Donnie. Donnie, come on through. I'm telling you, Donnie. When it hit the scene, there we go. When it hit the scene, Donnie, I'm looking for you. I'm looking for all the Donnies. All of them. Come on out, okay? But today I want to talk about the Tree of Life, Kabbalah. And to be honest, I almost didn't want to talk about it. But I'm going to talk about why I didn't want to talk about it before I talk about it. The Tree of Life is iconic in terms of people who talk about spirituality. You'll hear different people try and interpret it different ways, study it for different reasons. Bear with me. I'm working on not telling people that they're wrong immediately, even though they are. It's a map of reality at large, but see, that don't mean nothing. That's why I'm slightly pissed, because it still doesn't mean anything to people yet. Reality at large. I can tell you Malkuth is all the physical world, but if you're not making a distinction between physical and non-physical, it's not going to make a difference. I didn't want to do this one. I didn't want to do this one because it's very easy for people to assume they know what this is. They see colors, they see shapes, they've heard some words. Like, for example, I was talking about a consultation last week? What's today? Monday. Last week. And we even had this discussion in the consultation. He was showing me one of those images that have like a whole bunch of different things on it. Like, let me see if I pull one up. He was talking about this, I know who has one. C. Freeman L made one. And once again, I'm not saying something's wrong with the image, okay? I'm trying to speak to why I was reluctant to speak about Kabbalah. An image like this, open link in new tab, what am I doing? These images that are packed with symbolism, they're easy to get a hold of. It's easy to say you know 1, 2, maybe 3 of the things, or that you understand it in general. That's usually what people will say, is that I understand that, I see that, and then there's a collection of associations that are made in these types of things. I didn't want to do the chakra one, but this is the same. It's even more synonymous here. People, you can say the words that you see on the tree of life, but it doesn't mean that you get it. So we were talking in the consultation. He had an image that was like this. It wasn't this C. Freeman L image, but it was like it. In where I'm not centered. There we go. In where it's got a whole bunch of different shit squished together, and the tree of life is right there in the middle. You know. And even he was talking about it. You know, he first got it, and he was like, you know, it looked like it was the shit. It had all the stuff on it. But as he began to learn more about what these things actually mean, he could see that in condensing all of these things together, they'd all lost their texture. They'd all lost their own detail and nuance. You know, you can try to write the word really, really small and write a whole bunch of different really, really small things, but you're still doing the same. You're making the same move by taking all that symbol and crushing it into this. Okay? And that's generally what people do with the Tree of Life. Because they're not treating the map like a map. They're not treating the map like a map. I was looking at some dude named Dr. Sirius B. I think that's what his name was. Dr. Sirius B. He was on Black Magic 363, something like that. I can only take like 10 minutes of it. This motherfucker was talking about, you know, you light your candle, and it's because fire is in different dimensions, and it goes from the place you are to the ancestor realm. Oh, Misha X, good to see you in the chat. Welcome to the show. Is that he said the flame goes to the ancestor realm, and I'm disgusted. Because how do you substantiate anything? How do you substantiate something like that? And that's what I gotta stand against. Motherfuckers who have a picture like this and have nothing substantiated with it. But you know what? That's fine, because that's my problem. Excuse me. My apologies. That's my fucking problem. Your problem is you don't know what the tree of life is. So let's fucking talk about it. You see? Face your problems head on. They suck. They don't tickle. Okay. The tree of life is a map. Okay? The tree of life is a map. I think that's where we should go first, okay? Here. Stop playing with me. Alright, so if I show you a map of I'm in Atlanta. If I show you a map of Atlanta, right? Here we go. We're gonna do the research together. Hold my hand, let's go. Alright, here, look at this. Look at this. It's even look a little stylized, alright? This is a map of Atlanta, the city, okay? If I show you a map of a territory, okay? The map, it has all kind of different symbols to represent things that exist in the territory, okay? You can gain a lot of insight about a territory by looking at the map. This is correct. But you cannot confuse the map with the territory. Just like you see the little blue lines on here. If I walk out in the city today and I'm expecting to find blue lines, I'm confusing the map with the territory. Okay? When you're making dimensions into places, you're confused. I want to say that's the same. I want to say it. I'm going to come back to it. Confusing the map with the territory, okay? This is a map. It's got different symbols to represent things that actually exist in the territory. The things that actually exist in the territory are nothing like the symbol. Okay, you look at a map that's got a symbol for a mountain, there's two little triangles. And you're thinking, when I see a mountain, it's going to look like two little triangles. And it doesn't. Okay? Keep this in mind. This is the basis behind what I'm talking about when I say the tree of life is a map. Okay? Another big thing about the tree of life. Two other big things, excuse me. Perhaps the initial justification is it must be empirically possible if I can imagine it. Perhaps the initial justification is it must be empirically possible if I can imagine it. Yeah, it could be possible, but then anything is possible from there. That's one of the frustrations I do have with talking to people about these things is, I'm not saying that's not correct. You know, because I would, to a certain extent, I would agree with that. Okay, if you can imagine it, it exists. It's possible. But just because something's possible don't mean it's enough for you to be standing on. Don't mean it's built to support a framework. All right. So once again, this is the big thing. Most people are like, there we go. Thank you. Thank you as well, Ryan. Most people don't realize they're looking at a framework or they're using some pieces from a framework, how a framework works, the utility of a framework. They have a pocket full of new words and associations, and they got a C. Freeman L picture. And so they say, this is simply this, and this is simply that, and this is simply this, and that ain't nothing but this. And really, so what you saying is that's just this? You want to open your conception of these ideas to nuance. You see, that's what kept people out of the mystery schools, was their inability to contend with nuance. Like the idea that chains enslave a person, but it's your mind that determines whether or not you're a slave. Okay, all the initiatory rites, all the hoops you got to jump through. those aren't the thing. Not to say they're unnecessary because they're not the thing. Nigga, you don't even know the thing. Don't do that. All the hoops you gotta jump through. All the setup, the build up. It's like the here we go. It's like the beginning of one of them songs with a beat drop and it just goes nuts, right? You can't start the song with the beat drop where it just goes silent for a second and then boom, right? You can't just start with all songs start and end with silence. But in order to know the song has started, you gotta start building up. Something has to change. To be different, you gotta do different. You have to have different priorities. You have to have and once again, not everything has to be different, because sometimes motherfuckers will be like, I gotta wait till shit is perfect, or shit is better, I guess you could say. Perfectionism is one of those things where it'll lead you to procrastinating and avoiding actually doing something, because you can never let it be what it is until it's perfect in your eyes. Which is usually perfectionists, almost nothing is perfect to them. I know, I've been a perfectionist before. But when you really get out here creating shit, and you can't eat your kids, and you can't just throw them in the deep end, you gotta let shit unfold. You gotta let shit unfold. You watch a movie, they don't show you the boring parts of life. They show you the scenes, right? The hot scenes. You gotta experience the boring parts. Anyways, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm going on. What is the tree of life? It is a tenfold pattern. I really want to get into that. That's what I really want to get into. But this is where I got to go first. You got to understand the context of the map that you're looking at, okay? Like, for instance, if you're looking at the chakras, this usually comes from, I guess you could say the Indus Kush area. I don't know. The Dravidians, not the Dravidians. Was it the Dravidians? I think the Dravidians were somewhere. See, I'm not a history nigga. That's what I be saying, bro. I got dates, but nigga, I'm not even a history nigga. History niggas would whoop my ass with the shit. Anyways, you're looking at the chakras. That's usually coming from, let's say for sake of simplicity, to oversimplify, let's say this comes from Hinduism, India, that whole area, East Asia, right? You're looking at the Kabbalah, the Tree of Life. This it's got a long fucking history. You can take this all the way back to like Nubia and shit. Let's just say it comes from Egypt for now, right? These people lived different lives. They thought about what the world is in different ways. Like, for example, 5,000 years ago, nobody touched something and thought germs, right? This is a new thing. And it's not to say whether or not that is or isn't a thing. See, that's a different question. Okay? What I'm speaking to is the manner in which we associate ourselves with the world, the way we frame the world, how we think. Not the what of what you think. Not whether or not you got penguins in your pantheon. It's how you think. And so how people connect to the world is completely different from how we do it today. Which is part of why I say you have to look at what you're already doing. You have to examine where you are now. What is you? Because now, look, we've got germs, we got particles, right? We got particles, we got super quantum strings that are just, we got the Rona. The Rona does that too, right? It's same ballpark, same pantheon, and they're just these things, right? The ontological category of matter is what's confusing most people. And if you try and take one of these maps and say, okay, this is what they were talking about and it's matter, you're wrong. We never had to make that distinction. The ontological category of matter. Do I have to explain ontological again? I don't want to stop saying ontological because that's pertinent. You see how much I hate the playground? No. Ontological category of matter. The category of matter was created to allow the Europeans to continue doing the experiments they were doing without committing a heresy. Okay, the whole category of matter, by its very nature, strips anything that would be soul, psyche, mind. See, some people will say energy, but you may as well say matter. Like you don't understand the pantheon you're looking at, the category you're looking at. You may as well say matter. And then niggas will just put any word in front of energy. Wall energy, table energy, vibe energy, energy. And it's just a pile of fucking feelings. Okay, so let's get past how you feel about what you're looking at. These are different maps of the same territory made by different groups of people. And these groups of people didn't look at the world the way you look at it. Not to say who's right or wrong about it, because it's not the what you believe, it's how you believe. Okay? The how didn't require you to comprehend the difference between physical and non-physical. The how today does. Why? Because you don't know how to let physical go. If I tell you to explain the tree of life to me, niggas gotta take melanin into the stars. DNA has got to be activated. Back oil has got to rise to the 12 cranial nerves to unlock the systems of the Kundalini Anunnaki awakening. Like here, this is one that and it's subtle. This is why I like it. It's subtle. The Hermetic concept of vibration, right? This is what I mean. You niggas can't let go of matter. When we say everything is vibrating, or when we say how vibration is a fundamental or primordial aspect of existence, of manifestation, of the unfolding, okay? Notice I didn't say whatever you want to say. I use specific words. Or whatever you want to call it, man. God, stop it. I'll be all right. Anyway. The third Hermetic principle, the law of vibration, right? When people think about this, all they can think about is matter vibrating. I showed you I gotta do it now. I showed you the Yade Vade. I showed you the 3-4, the 3 modalities in the 4 positions. I showed you the circle, okay? It's always been about the circle. It's all these things are about the circle. You know, you have the hero's journey. Dawson, good to see you in the chat. You have the hero's journey. All right, where with that archetype is said, anyone who's living a life is said to be living the life of the hero. Okay, they're taking the hero's journey, so to speak. The zodiac is showing you the hero's journey. The chakras are showing you the hero's journey. The tree of life is showing you the hero's journey. The major arcana of the tarot are showing you the hero's journey. This is why I always say, what the fuck is you? It's the circle. You see the journey. Look, this is the vibration. Vibration is talking about that relationship where 3 is touching 4. It's the third fucking principle unfolding. Stop. It's the third principle unfolding, okay? Look, anything you would measure, any vibration you would measure is going to come out like this. Why? Because when you're talking about vibration, you're talking about oscillations measured in hertz. Okay, how many times you're gonna come back across the same point? All right, that's what's going on here. And this is also, not only is this a sine wave, it's a map of a circle. All right, it's tracing out the circumference of a circle. So when I say these are maps, I'm not telling you you're going to go somewhere. Okay? There's nowhere to go. That's what infuriated me so much about the dude and his candle saying that the flame from the candle goes to the ancestral realm. And I'm just like, dude. Like, if there was a conference of motherfuckers teaching metaphysics, I'd have to stand next to a motherfucker like that. How much of my shit do I have to spend making that completely, pointing out how ridiculous this is? Like, I might not even have to have a point, because I can spend the whole time pointing out how ridiculous that was to listen to for an hour. You don't go anywhere. There's nowhere to go. What is you? Like, and see, this is what I was saying about the thing about like the C. Freeman L picture, is that you have so many things you know to say, and you have new little ways to associate them, but you don't have a framework. You don't know what all this means. And when you don't know what all this means, what you inadvertently do is reduce all of it to humanity, because that's all you know. And you can say, no, Aries, that's not me. I get this. And you would be the motherfucker I'm talking about who does it the worst. Oh my, and it's like clockwork. It's like fucking clockwork. You know, look me in the face. I get this. After years. That's what that... I want to eat them. The tree of life is a map. The map is not the territory. This is one map made by a certain group of people at a certain time of the same territory that you're finding these other maps, okay? So let's say 7 different people made a map of Atlanta, okay? Let's say you had an engineer, you had an artist, you had an explorer, you had a banker, you had a construction worker, you had an occultist, and you had a babysitter. And all 7 of them, yeah, I said a babysitter, and all 7 of them make a map of Atlanta. Okay? The territory is the same. The maps are different. But if anyone looks at that map and expects to be seeing the territory, they're confused. Okay, see, it's really simple. It's really simple. God, what am I supposed to eat? Okay. So, because I've said before that all of the physical world is Malkuth, okay? The easiest way, and I say easy because it'll be easier to me, so that's unfair. Infinity, okay? Usually when people think of infinity, they think of this monolithic singular thing. And I'll push against that, because in one respect, you're right. In one respect, and only one respect, you're right, okay? To the degree to which oneness is one thing and only one thing, you're correct. But to the degree to which we're having this conversation, it's gone beyond one, okay? So there's more to it. It's not that you're wrong, it's that the devil's in the details, okay? So, infinity. Infinity is not simply a monolithic, singular oneness, okay? If you want a word for that, try the monad. The monad is closer to what you're looking for there. When we're talking about infinity, infinity is infinitely infinite. There are infinitely many infinities. Why? Because it's infinity. It's infinite. See, it's easy to say the word, but you gotta think about it. And you're not called to think about it when you're out here telling a nigga what you got to tell him. Hey, nigga, it really is this. I mean, whatever you want to call it, but that's what it is. Like, no, you're not. You have no responsibility to do anything. But what was here? justify what you have to say. It's like that's the problem with building on the foundation that everyone's right and there's no such thing as real or facts, is that the thing you say can't be real. It can't be taken seriously. You can use it to justify things, but really you can justify anything. It's ridiculous. But if you don't have a foundation of what is real, you can't have a framework. And so that's part of the reason when people will go out and you collect all this different random information, but if you don't have a ground level of what is real, you just got a bag of sentences. Okay, and to contend with what is real, it's not, hey, Arius, what's the answer? It's, my nigga, you say it's you. You say you're the center, right? You're the one thing that's everything. I'm all these guys. It's all about me. It's all about self. All these are aspects of myself. All this is talking about stuff that's within myself, right? You got to go to the what is you part, because that's where reality is already. Whatever you already agreed to, you're going to find it there. And you're not going to find it in an explicit sentence. Yeah, that's part of the misunderstanding people are having about trying to gain knowledge from information. A sentence and being able to repeat a sentence isn't having knowledge. It's even close to wisdom. We think if you listen to a person say sentences that have spirity words long enough, you're going to understand, you're going to get it. I just got to sit in the back and listen, and that's how I learn. How do you know you're learning? You heard, you can repeat it. See, that's what they did in school. If you can repeat it for the test, then you know and you learn, right? That's not how it has to work. Legend Archer, good to see you in the chat, man. Long time no see. I ain't seen this man since the Timeless Knowledge Store. So we gotta do that again, man. One day when I get the energy, 7-hour live streams. 7-hour live streams. Well, man, y'all gotta check it out, bro. Y'all gotta check it out. Legend Archer, good to see you in the chat, man. Is the territory the physical, non-physical, and primordial realms? On the map that I make, yes. On the map that I make, yes. And I can even show you on other people's map where it correlates with what they're talking about. That's what I would say. That's what I would love to say. My heart chakra is thumping. I love that you remember all three densities. See, Leah is one of the good students. But to be more accurate, the territory is, oh God, I hate it. The territory is you. The territory is the psyche. Your experience of physical life is the lowest part of your psyche. So that's the territory, your psyche. I have to say more about that. I can't leave it there because that's clear to me, but it's not clear to someone who just heard me say that. Fuck. The territory is the psyche. Another thing to keep in mind. Words like, because when people say etymology, it's not just give me an old definition. Words grow in families. They change through groups of families. And it's usually not even the words that's changing. It's the root words. It's the prefixes and suffixes are changing and shifting around. The effect of that is a different word. Excuse me. Sorry. Words like soul and mind are translations of older words like psyche. Okay, see, when you go in here and you find somebody say this word 3 different ways, and you think, okay, are they talking about the same thing? Well, how do we know? This is what I'm saying. You have to understand the framework where the words you're using come from, and so you can see the context. Because if I just told you Legba without the context, it wouldn't make sense. Like here, Spider-Man. If I told you Spider-Man without the context of the getting bit by the spider, shooting the webs out his wrist, saving the redheaded bitch. If I told you Spider-Man without the context, you'd be like, I don't give a fuck. What is that? I don't understand. So you have to see the context of things you're putting together. Okay? Oh, God. Fuck. But the territory is the psyche. It is your experience of life, existence. And for the most part, see, when you're looking at these old religions, the religion was not set up to control people. It was to allow people to connect themselves to reality at large. And the tools they used were from the things around them that they perceived. This is why you didn't have penguins in the Egyptian pantheon, because it's like, what the fuck is that? Nobody knows. But you have a hippo because there's one up the street. Okay? And so people will usually get caught up in the symbols that are on the map. The symbols that are on the map are like in the little key. The key to unlock the map, to read the map, to decode the map. And so they get caught up in the symbols on the map, and they forget that the map is not the territory. Okay? People will get caught up in these symbols, and they don't understand the map is not the territory. They think they're looking at the symbols and they see in the territory. All right? You got to vibrate higher to some different realm. And no, bro, there's nowhere to go. Bro, where the fuck is here? Where the fuck is here? What do you mean? I'm not yelling at you a lot, Aaliyah. I'm not yelling. I was yelling. I'm not yelling. God. When you said the territory is the psyche, made the Adam Kadmon, Tarot, and Kabbalah overlay each other in my mind. Adam Kadmon, Tarot, and Kabbalah. Yeah, well, Kabbalah, I mean, Adam Kadmon is from Kabbalah. There's nice, a convenient picture of it right there. Is it going to pull it up? Yeah, there, it's going to pull it up. Yeah, open it in a new tab. Not the link, the image. Not the link. Oh, wow, nice, beautiful. No, I have to zoom out some. No, I have to zoom out. Bruh. Alright. This is the Adam Kadmon. For those who are unaware. Adam Kadmon is the archetype of the divine man. Now, when I say man, I do not mean male and female. I mean M-A-N. Remember, we're speaking English. I have to show you the picture now. We're speaking English, okay? Because people like to do the geometria cipher for a different language, and I'm like, bruh, you're speaking English. How about you stick with that, okay? M-A-N. Where is the cipher, though? Where is the cipher? I have to show you the cipher, otherwise that's not going to make sense, and I don't know where I put the cipher. Fuck me. Because I can never find a picture of the fucking thing online. If you take the 26 letters of the alphabet, to both sides, 13, right? You start at the first one, A. You get to the 13th, it's M, and you get to the 14th, it's N. You go all the way to 26, but once again, we're talking about the relationship between 3 and 4, at 3 and 4. And if you look at the symbol for Z, it's the N symbol flipped on its side. All right, the M and the A, right? You're looking at the points, the rising up. That's where you start with the A, the rising up, where it brings the floor with it. So you have the line in the middle, okay? This is that. It's the rising up. It's showing you. It's symbolizing rather the 3 and the 4, the union of 3 and 4. That's what this has been about, right? That's what. I can't just say that because they're superstition, and so they still see deities as a thing out there. Everybody's right, so they can justify whatever they already believe. I need the cipher. Fuck, man. No, that's not it. I don't remember what I named it. Did I name it? Did I let you know? No. God. You see, even I'm a fuck up, guys. So I don't think, oh man, I gotta be a great person who's not a fuck up. Well, you probably do. You probably do. I don't, though. Ah, there we go. Fucking A, right? Took me forever. Excuse me. Look, when I say the divine man, man is an archetype. All right, this idea of the separation of the Most High and man it's not necessarily saying the same thing. Like if I'm talking about, let's say somebody said, "Hey, look, there's Aries over there pointing to my body," right? Okay, cool. If you pointed to my hand, would that be any less pointing to Aries? No, right? The idea of man and the Most High was like pointing to the hand or the whole body. That was the dichotomy. Once again, the ontological category of matter is this recent shit. This is new shit. Okay? And that's part of the reason you had the issue with Serapis, where before it was common knowledge that the Neter weren't things on the planet. They weren't things on the planet. But here comes Serapis. Here comes Serapis. No, this is a nigga that lived down here for real, for real. Okay, cool. Really? Anyways, you're looking at the English language. When I say man, M-A-N, see, there's so many levels of the English language motherfuckers just trying to throw out because they want to say it's bastardized. No, it's bastardized if you compare it to organic religions. Yeah, okay, wonderful. But if you see language as a tool, it's been shaped, it's been perfected. If you don't know how the language works, yes, it will enslave you. But when you can start to see it, it's an ingenious tool they've created with this thing. Fuck, man. Anyways, it's 26 letters, 1313. You're talking about, oh, it's the zodiac and I'm the 13, but you know, it's right in your face. You speak with the fuss. Stop eating them. Stop eating them. It's always right in front of you, bro. It's always right in front of you. So when I'm saying M-A-N, it's a concept. I'm not talking about male and female. See, I have to do all of this on the playground. Or at least I feel I do. Because motherfuckers, I'll say some shit, it'll go over a motherfucker head, and they'll say, yeah, I get that, but then they don't get it. I'm sorry. I'm a dick. But yeah, this is the Adam Kadmon, okay? So it's from Kabbalah, and it relates to the Tree of Life and the Clip-Off. I won't explain the Clip-Off yet, because if you don't understand the Tree of Life, the Clip-Off don't make no sense. You have to understand the Tree of Life, okay? What you're looking at, once again, is a map of reality. So when we add the Adam Kadmon, you're talking about the divine man in the context of that, okay? And generally, the work is to rebuild the kingdom. Everything has fallen down, and then you rebuild, okay? But you can only do that in the world and not of it. And if you're your body and your personality, then you're in the world and of it. This is why I talk about the non-physical conception itself, so we can move beyond it. Okay, so yeah, when we're talking about the psyche, it's all of reality at large. When we're talking about a psyche, your psyche, my psyche, it's reality within context, okay? It's the self at large or the self in context. Remember, we pointed to Aries' body or Aries' hand, all right? God and man were synonymous almost synonymous, okay? This is what you're looking at here again. Reality at large and reality in context of itself. And so you rebuild the kingdom. You go from the dead horizontal to the upright living perpendicular. Okay. And the horizontal and perpendicular makes more sense when you know what you're looking at. Like that's why I use the diagram I use, the map that I use, because it makes the distinction about what you're talking about. God, man, because symbolism is wonderful, but you got to be able to digest nuance. Motherfuckers who just get out here and they reduce everything to the body and they quickly tell you this is just this and this is just that. They don't have the capacity for the nuance. And that's what kept the profane out of the mystery schools. You're talking alchemy, that's like there are niggas who are actually thinking alchemy is where they got kicked. No, it's not. How they thought led to those people who once again, created the ontological category of matter, But I don't know who this. Oh, that's probably somebody from the. I'll have to call them back. Anyway, the ontological category of matter. It's the same time you have these motherfuckers who's talking like atoms and stuff. Like when atoms was hitting the scene and niggas was picking it up. Okay? We don't always need that. I forgot what I was talking about when I heard the phone ring. My apologies. I probably ranted anyways. Legend Archer says facts. I'm not sure what was facts. Probably everything I said, right? That's what you want to be. Malkuth is the lowest part of the psyche. Was that correct? Yes, that is accurate. Malkuth is the lowest part of the psyche. And see, this is the thing. You see how the feet are on the top of it? But there's a whole different thing in it. Your body personality, that's the in it. When we're talking about the non-physical conception of self, and I tell niggas it's just at the bottom of the feet, that's about all you can see until you lean into this shit. Bro, this is what I'm talking about. See that little face down there at the bottom? Here, let's zoom into the bottom. I can zoom into the bottom, can I? Boom. You see that little face down there inside? That motherfucker is in the world and of it. That's your body and personality. You see the bottom of those feet? On top of the sphere, you see, what's the goat boy y'all niggas love? Baphomet. Baphomet sits on the sphere, right? And look, just see, this is the thing. You can't just say understanding it makes, okay, well, hold on, you can. I'm sorry, excuse me. If you're on the middle path, you can say that just having the appropriate realization will bring you to the place. It's not even bring you to the place. It's a realization, or I can't explain realization with the word realization. Chill out, bro. It's a remembering. It's a remembering of what was always the truth. So you can, if you're taking it from a middle path perspective, then just understanding or having the realization is enough. But if you ask me, what is you? What's the you that had a realization? And they're gonna reduce it to body and personality. This thing, and so that's why I don't like the middle path. I don't like the middle path. But you're free to do it. You're free to have that approach to this. But this is what people don't understand about the tree of life. You don't go back up the way you came. You don't go back up a tree. The seed, the fruit from a tree, don't go back up the tree the way it came. And so you're just looking at a map. If the map don't tell you what you're supposed to do, if I show you a map of Atlanta, it don't tell you what you're supposed to do. It shows you different routes you can go, you can travel. Hell, it don't even show you the cuts. Fuck you talking about? Everybody know the cuts, boy. It don't even show you the cuts. It don't show you, the map don't show you what to do. That's why I don't even really think niggas need to know this shit. You don't need to know this to do this work. You don't. That's part of why I really didn't want to do the chakras or the tree of life, because you don't need this stuff, but motherfuckers want to know it because they and this is the big one. This is how I go, right? They're searching. And the reason they're searching is ineffective. The reason that searching is ineffective is because there's too much of them that says, I get this. Because the way you've organized most of the information you have doesn't fit the new thing you're trying to find. In fact, you can tell there's something missing. That's why you're still searching. And it's not that there's something missing. It's your framing. It's not that there's somewhere to go. It's not that there's something to activate. It's your framing. You have to question whether or not you understand the shit you swear you understand, the shit you feel you understand. And you'll ask me, right? Aries, how do I challenge what I believe? I believe it. You know what, bro? You're right. That's a good observation. Get this nigga gold star real quick. Boom. This is how you do it. Imagine everything that you say you believe. Somebody you hate said the same thing. Imagine that nigga said everything you said. Try and destroy it. It'll be a lot easier to do it then. It'll be a lot easier because we'll see you invested in your personality, and motherfuckers don't get the depth of that agreement. So much so you look at what the personality believes, and you're like, how can I ever challenge this? This has to be correct. I know it. You see how I said when I know it, I just went to my heart. Yeah, it's not the feelings. It's not the feelings. So yeah, you're correct. Malkuth is the lowest part of the psyche, because we're talking about in that discussion, in that level of analysis, we're talking about reality at large. Okay. So we say the map is outdated, or our interpretation of the map is outdated. Yes. Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes. That's part of a lot of what I try to convey in the show, is that the things that people are using are outdated, and they don't realize it because they don't actually know what they're using. Like, first and foremost, this is why I put all the physical world in one place, because you cannot discount the ontological category of matter in this day and age, because it's in everyone's thinking. It's in everyone's thinking. Okay? But what people don't understand about matter is that space-time is not fundamental. Another way to say that space-time is not fundamental: the tree of life don't start at the bottom. Particles, DNA, melanin, light photons. Niggas love light, but I'm telling you, it's the ontology of the Western world that is choking you, because it's not made, bruh. Look, John was talking about epigenetic memory and shit, bro. Europe has been kings and pageantry for a long time, and motherfuckers act like that's just been the world standard, bro. The Western ontology is what's tripping you up, and it's mostly the ontological category of matter, because people try and mystify these things that are inherently mundane. They're inherently mundane. Why are they inherently mundane? Because of the ontological category, because of what matter is. Even if you say energy, that's just matter on the backside. It's the same thing. And so people don't know how to explain their world, their reality, their existence without that ontological category. And that's their issue, because that tool that they're using was not made for that. It's like the Egyptian pantheon. The Egyptian pantheon was not made for a nigga to live in Chicago. Not to say there's something wrong with a nigga in Chicago, but it wasn't made to fit to him. It was made to fit to the people tens of thousands of years ago in that place at that time. And you can't just look at it and say what they were talking about is this new thing that Massa and them done created for you. Boy, stop. This man said the flame goes to the ancestor realm. The ancestor realm. The Akasha. Anyway, because I can feel it right now. I have a rant in my throat, and it's vicious. Ugh. The tree of life is a map. The chakras are a map. They're not a map of your body. Look, and see, this is also the interesting thing people overlook. All of the things that you can say about the human form, the physical body, that are divine, are equally applicable to a roach. In fact, I'd say those niggas is more divine. They're missing what these maps are talking about. They're not talking about the physical body. The physical body has many marvels based upon what you consider what normality, normalcy or normality? Normalcy. I think it's normality. But something wants to say normalcy. That's interesting. I got to look at that. Anyway, depending on what you consider normality is what's going to be marvelous, extravagant, or amazing, or remarkable. You have to understand the tool you're using. You have to understand the tool you're using. It's a map, and the map is not the territory. Okay? So there's no way you got to go, nothing you got to activate, nothing you got to vibrate to. Like people talk about the paths. This is one thing people are confused with about the Tree of Life as well. Here, I just saw this picture. Boom. Because you can associate the tarot with the paths on the Tree of Life. But see, these paths that are being traced out here between the interconnected Sephiroth, these paths, which you can correspond to tarot cards, this isn't those. That's not the same as left hand, right hand, or middle path. In fact, some people try and conflate it to the pillars. Okay, no, that's not left hand, right hand, or middle path. Left hand, right hand, and middle path are talking about physical life policy. They're talking about manners in which, directions from which you can approach the same point. Okay, directions from which you can approach the same point. This is why I'm not going to say the middle path is wrong. It's categorically a different direction from which you can approach the same point. There are three fundamental directions you can approach the single point from. If there are three directions and then one point they're all going to, that's four. Once again, we're talking 3 and 4. There are three fundamental directions to which you can approach a single point. Okay, and that's what we're talking about: right, middle, and left-hand path. And it doesn't matter which one you say you're on. You go from you can just shift between them in life. Hell, you go left far enough, you're gonna end up on the right. Shit, it's not about, like, that doesn't make a difference. That doesn't make what you're doing right or wrong. So when we're talking left-hand path, middle path, right-hand path, that's not the same as the paths as path working. What's called path working. Once again, this is a Kabbalistic technique based on this map. Okay, where they're exploring the psyche based on this map. So they're saying, okay, based on the map, this must be what I'm exploring. Because when we're talking infinity, there are densities of infinity, different types of infinity. Here's a good example. Nothingness, infinite nothingness, right? Infinite nothingness is infinitely nothing, right? Infinite something, infinite oneness, the monad, for example. Infinite oneness is infinitely one thing. They're both equally infinite, but they're different kinds of infinity. I would say different densities of infinity. Okay, so what you're looking at on the Tree of Life on these maps are different densities of infinities. Normalcy. I don't know. I gotta look at the suffixes on those. There's something. They taste very similar. Him, Alfred, boy, him in the building. That man is him. He's him. Good to see you, Brad Dawson. Roach Messiah. Hey, man, I'm Roach Lord, bro. I'm repping for the Roaches, bro. I'm repping for the Roaches. Put down the rain. Elias, I'm in this thing. About time, boy. Good to see you. All is one, same destination, different paths. Yeah, you can say it like that. No, and this is why I'm cringing. Because the idea of a destination is a right-hand path thing. Middle path and left-hand path, there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. Middle path usually comes to the conclusion that there is no work, there is nothing to be done, aside from having the realization and living in that realization. So there's nothing to be done aside from that. With the left-hand path, so there's nowhere to go, though. So you don't need somewhere to go. They're not describing places out there. Like, you understand out there. And then with the left-hand path, once again, there's nowhere to go. The work is to be done right where you're at. But where are you and what is you? And see, if you just skim over those, it's full of agreement. It's full of what's the word? I don't want to just say Maya. I don't want to just say illusion. It's full of attachment. There we go. See, with the middle path, it's shedding the attachments. Okay. With the left-hand path, it's wielding the attachments. So neither place has somewhere to go. All right. It's the right-hand path that has a destination. All right, because they return to source. So that was my only hang-up board. But I understand what you're saying when you say that, because the way the analogy I initially used, it's different approaches to the same idea. I definitely done been through all the paths. And you got what do you got what do you get when you travel somewhere? No. I just said you got the receipts, but you know what receipts would a nigga need? You can just say it. Hey, who knows, bro? Fuck prophecy. What? Fuck prophecy? Donnie, what you talking about, bro? Come on, Donnie. Ask me the question. What you talking about, bro? I'm here for it. I'm not going to destroy you. Not going to eat you. Not going to call you... I'm not going to call you a bitch nigger. Okay? That's what people be worried about. I'm going to call him a bitch. I ain't going to call you a bitch nigger, man. Donnie, I want you to be here. I want you to be engaged and not retract your messages, Donnie. What did Elias say about prophecy? A passport. Ha! There you go. Ryan called that nigga Elias. Hey, where your passport? Passport. All right, no. That shouldn't have been that funny to me. I'm sorry. I'm a loser. All right, let's get back to the tree of life. Okay? So I've told you it's a map. I've talked to you about the necessity of understanding the context. Okay, that's the people it was made for, the time and place it was made. Okay. We actually got around to talking about how it's outdated and it's not necessarily fitted for the people who live today, but people want to understand it, so I have no problem talking about it. With doing the realization and who forgot and did all that forgetting come with the attachments? This probably what she means with doing the realization and who forgot and did all the forgetting come with the attachments? Bro, there's like one word in this sentence that is just off and I don't know what it is. With doing the realization and who forgot and did all that forgetting come with the attachments? Who forgot what? Oh, the one who's doing the realization. If you're talking about that perspective on the middle path, or it even gets to ideas like there is no self, I would have that same question. I would have that same question with the idea that the realization is sufficient because it matches the framework. So I'm not saying it's wrong. But I like to live in the details, and the devil's most certainly in the details. And for me, the details would be, okay, what the fuck is this you that's done that's having the realization or that forgot to begin with? Because I would think having realizations and forgetting and being attached would necessarily imply the fact that a self exists, but it can be debated, and there's conversations that can be had about it. Same destination, different path. Okay, you're saying what Eli was saying. Okay. Yeah, y'all just having a conversation. All right, cool. Let's get back to the tree of life. All right. Next thing I want to get into, the tree of life is a map, okay? It's a 10-fold map. The chakras are a 7-fold map. The zodiac is a 12-fold map, okay? So there's 10 there's 10 major focal points when we're looking at the map of the Tree of Life, okay? Now, if you happen to see a map that has 11 with this middle here, let me open it up bigger just to make sure you see what I'm seeing. No, not that one. If you'll keep that in mind, I'm gonna come back to it in a second. This one. Zoom in. Boom. That'll work. All right. So when you're looking at a map like this, and they have this middle Sephiroth here. This is called Da'ath. It's on the Tree of Life. It's considered a hidden Sephiroth. The Sephiroth are the circles, the spheres, the focal points of the 10-fold map. Okay. When you have this 11th sphere, you're not looking at the Tree of Life. You're looking at the Kalipoff. Okay. This is why I don't like to get into the names, because my name, you didn't speak that language. You didn't come up in it. Not to say, because I've listened to people who've learned the language talk about it. Okay, like that's different. Like if you can give me your side in a sentence in Sanskrit, maybe I'll consider that you know what you're talking about. Maybe that's just a sentence. Nigga, you sitting there talking hard your side to me. Okay, use that in a sentence, and you're gonna have to say an English sentence because that's the language you're speaking. But my point is, it's not fitted to what we are today. Okay, it's not to say it's incorrect. It's not to say it's wrong. It's not to say what you should or shouldn't do. It's not fitted to you. Period. And if you want it to be, because it can, get into the language. Get into the language. Get into the culture of the people where this comes from. Do your research. And that's more than just repeating the names on the diagram. Like that's elementary school shit. Anyway. One of the things about the Tree of Life is it's very dense. Oh yeah, before I get into that, like I said, if you see this 11th Sephiroth, you're looking at the Kalipoff, which is said to be behind the Tree of Life or the shells of the Tree of Life. We got to finish Tree of Life before I get into the Kalipoff. But just know that, all right? When you look at the Tree of Life, this Sephiroth is considered to be hidden, okay? Like, the Tree of Life is fucking dense, dude. All right, so look at Da'ath. You see where Da'ath is on the Tree of Life. It's above Teferet. You see where Da'ath is. Look at the Adam Kadmon. Oh, here it is. It's super zoom, bruh. So, you can just scroll down a little bit. You see where the head of the Adam Kadmon is? At Da'ath. Okay? There's so many different ways to talk about it. Here, how about this? How about I talk about this the way I want to? No, because it's not about what you want. No, but you're right. That's why I'm mad. All right, yeah. The head is right there at Da'ath, okay? This is the point where the whole thing goes perpendicular. Where we going from, like I said, the flat horizontal to the upright and living perpendicular. The point at which that occurs is called Da'ath. But the thing about the Tree of Life is, remember, this is symbolism. The nuance is what kept the uninitiated from being able to understand the symbolism. Okay? Bad hippie, what's the Tree of Life? The Tree of Life is a map of reality at large. Great questions. The whole point of the stream today. It ain't about you. Give the mashed peas before I start crying in this bitch. I know, right? I got to do the mashed peas. And it's not just I got to make you eat mashed peas. I got to eat them too. Otherwise, you're not going to want to eat them. You're going to want to eat the wings with me because I'm eating them. No, we're going to all eat these mashed peas. Let's go. Time for the mashed peas. Last week, shitstorm had me rolling. Look, glad you checked out, man. Glad you checked it out. Keep it up because we're almost over. Episode 52 going to be the last one of the shitstorm, but we're going to have a different show. We'll have a different show. Okay, so what we're talking about. Remember, Tree of Life is a map of reality at large, but do not confuse the map with the territory. Okay? Now, when we're looking at the Tree of Life, like I said, it's I hate it's dense because I'm inclined to jump from place to place to place when talking about the Tree of Life because it's so dense. But I'll try and keep it as basic and simple as I can. The Tree of Life comes from the Kabbalah, right? The framework of Kabbalah. Here, let me show you. In Kabbalah, they have the idea of the four worlds. Now, you have to be able to decipher the tree before you can see these things immediately, but I'm going to point them out. There we go. All right, I'm going to point them out. Let me see on the screen. I have my screen covered. All right. Notice these are trees of life. Why? Because the da'ath is left out. Okay. So whenever the da'ath is left out, you're talking about the tree of life. All right. The four worlds. Oh, let me show you the other picture. This is why I have to put these two together. God damn it. I'll just use this one. No, I know the one I need to use. Fuck me, right? Ha! I know the one I need to use. This one. No. And look, I chose the wrong door. What are you talking about? I chose the wrong door. Where is it? I just saw it this morning. Ah, there you are. There you are. Yeah, I love that I found this image. Come on, man. Why aren't you moving? Oh, because I clicked it wrong. I'm sorry. Yeah. There we go. Do what I need you to do. Why are you... There we go. Boom. Boom. All right. I need to put these two together, okay? You're talking about... There's a third component, the fucking tetrahedron. Because that's another way of looking at this. This is one way of looking at this, okay? Now, in Kabbalah, there's the... You can see the tree of life is just a symbol. It's part of a larger system. It's part of a larger system. In Kabbalah, there's the concept of the four worlds. So they give you the tree of life, but further knowledge on top of that, deeper knowledge, I guess you could say, is that the tree of life is one of four. Okay. Here's another way of looking at that idea. They call this one the Auric tree of life. But look, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 outer rings. Remember, it was the chakra episode where I showed you the Anu. All right, I showed you the Anu. But the Anu is once you've added motion, you've added the cycle to the process. So you're not just looking at diagrams. But anyways, the four worlds. Okay, keep in mind they all connect at the top, in the center, and at the bottom. At the top, in the center, and at the bottom. Okay? Airplane spoonhead ass. Oh God, Hebrew letters of God. When you stack them, they form man. When you stack what? The trees of life? Because we were talking about man, M-A-N, before. Are you saying why would you stack the four? Oh, let me know, bro, if you got something there. Damn, my coffee's cold. I feel like a piece of shit. It's awful drinking cold coffee. The Hebrew letters. Oh, it makes the little, bro. I wish I had a picture of that. I know what you're talking about. It makes a little stick figure. Some of the comments I can't even see. Fat? I'm not sure. Anyways, we're talking about the tree of life, okay? That's funny with the little dude. All right, when we're looking at this picture, we're keeping in mind the four different trees of life, because the tree of life is something that comes from the Qalipoth, okay? Once again, people are caught in the initiate level of things, and so they take the initiate level because it's not Christianity, and assume if I know some of these initiate level things, I must be advanced, and you're not even close yet. You're not even close yet, because the whole tree itself is a symbol. Like, that's what I'm saying. This shit is so rich, it's dense. That's why I can use it as a symbol right here, and then do this again. Because the tree of life itself was one symbol. That's part of the reason you kept the Da'ath away. Because as you unveil different parts of it, the whole system becomes more expansive. You remember, it's a spiritual tradition. It's a rite. There's an exoteric and an esoteric. The initiates are taught the exoteric, and once they know it like the back of their hand, they're introduced to the esoteric. All right? But if you just assume the esoteric must mean it's all about the body, you lose. Bro, you the nigga, remember on the Atom Cab Mall, you the nigga at the bottom of the Atom Cab Mall in the little circle. You in the world and of it. Because this stuff does not reduce down to the physical body. The physical body is fucking trash, bro. This is meat. It's flesh. I don't care what gland you point out. I don't care about spooky back oil. I don't care about spinning particles in a cell. It's trash. It's meat. It's worm food. It's vanity. Fuck, all that shit is at the bottom. Okay, so keep this in mind. Excuse me. We're looking at the four worlds and their relationship with each other. The four different versions of the tree of life. All coming from and connected at the top, and all connected at the bottom as well, connected in the middle. Here, let me show you the tetrahedron. Because the tetrahedron is a different way of looking at this map. Give it to me. Give it to me, baby. I'm having fun. Alright, spooky back oil is crazy. Oh, nigga, that's what that Kundalini spooky back oil. Alright, look. You got four different worlds, right? Four different trees of life connected at the top and the bottom. Okay, connected at the top and the bottom. On the tetrahedron, you have the four different, you can say the lines or the faces, really. They could be debated. But anyways, now let's go for the faces, because the faces are easier to intuit. You have four faces on the tetrahedron, on the sides, right? All of them connected at the top and connected at the bottom. They're connected at the top in a different way in which they connect at the bottom, okay? So, when we're looking at the tree of life in the four worlds, we're looking at a map of reality at large. Like, remember when I showed niggas the fractal pyramids? All right. No, I can't just throw that here. I can see that. I can't just put that here. Stick with this. Okay. When we're talking about the four worlds, we're talking about, once again, this is a map of reality at large. This is another way of mapping the same thing. Okay? Niggas talking, we want to get into Kabbalah, bro. Kabbalah is deep, it's complex. But I mean, just knowing Kabbalah isn't the work. Like, I don't care how much of this you know. You don't need to know any of this to do the work. Rick James, bitch. That's what frustrates me about it. Is you don't need to know. Like I know the stuff because I study it, and I care about whether or not I'm being accurate or not. See, when motherfuckers just like, okay, we're all right, and I feel justified, and I feel this or whatever the fuck. You know, they don't get close to accuracy. But once again, that's what the neophyte was supposed to do. Think he's on the cutting edge. Think he's above the rest of the people in the village because he know what he know now. Nah, bro, you never left the mud. You in the mud with everybody else. With that smell, that's your shit. That's your shit you smell. But the neophyte ain't ready for that. They got to get into knowing all the exoteric stuff. So motherfuckers know the exoteric stuff. Hell, they don't even know that whether or not they know it. They just know to say certain words. Anyway, God damn it. God damn it. This middle pillar, this middle part here is why I talk about the path you come down. The path to coming down. Fuck. It's alright. I'll stick with this way. I'll stick with it this way. Alright. So I showed you the tetrahedron. I want you to be able to keep these different things in mind when we're looking at the tree of life, okay? So you have the four worlds, you have how they can connect, and you have the tetrahedron understanding of the idea. Because what is a tetrahedron, bruh? It's rising from a flat surface. It's the five. Remember we talked about 4, 5, and 6 before. I'm gonna have to show it again. The qualities of the quantity 4, 5, and 6, where 5 is a transdimensional number. Okay, it's the one that stands above the others. I shouldn't have closed that. Fuck. Because I can use it. Because we talked about this in the chakra lecture as well. Okay, here. I'm doing your tetrahedron again. There we go. Where the top is projecting down the bottom over the center. The top projects the bottom over the center. Okay? All of it down onto a flat plane. It's like a projector. Duh. You know, the little movie projector you have. It's the same difference. And motherfuckers is caught up in the screen. Not even the screen. See the flat surface, the screen, that's the spiritual stuff. That's the non-physical stuff. Motherfuckers is caught up on a line, on a point on a line. And trying to trace all reality to this point on a line. And you missed it. Because not only is the line flat, the whole plane down here is flat. And you're supposed to get perpendicular. You're supposed to get perpendicular. Kabbalah is for white ladies to do yoga. Oh shit! Right. Look, motherfuckers be looking for anything to try and make the mundane shit they do spiritual. These are great diagrams. Yeah, Brad, I'd be into diagrams. Alright, because a lot more people are visual learners than you think. And I want to get people to a place where they can imagine things dimensionally. I didn't realize it was a thing I had to do until excuse me, I was thinking about where I was going next. Until I was listening to somebody, one of my clients talking, and it hit me how flat his thinking was. And that's the best way I can explain it, unfortunately. I gotta get better at explaining that part though. Thanks for shitting on my Monday, Air. It's not a problem, bro. Let me know when you have a parade. I'll come and rain on your parade. This is what I'm here to do. Ghost of Sean Lamar, everybody. Ghost of Sean Lamar. Okay. I'm gonna pull out my fucking diagram. Alright, because I want you to once again see the correlations. Actually, I know where I have that shit. I have it. It's in the boot capsule, right? I know it is. I know it is. I can give you motherfuckers a sample of the latest boot camp revamp. Here we go. Here we go. I know I have this shit in here. New and improved. New and improved. Very good explanation. Oh, bro, we ain't even done yet. We ain't even done yet. We just about to kick it off, really. We just about to kick it off. Let this shit open real quick. This is what I'm gonna do. Because I should have done this before, really, and I'm being a dick. I can't help it. You see, Arius is a dick. It's still down there because that hasn't changed. Okay, I have my own issues. Where's the... okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let y'all look at this real quick. Because this is a tenfold pattern. Okay? 10 is 0 and 1. Okay, 10 is 0 and 1. And I got it. That's where we got to go next. And so I want you to look at this. There it is. Here it is. Ooh. Okay. All right, rewind that. Turn it up. The Phantom Menace himself, ladies and gentlemen. The Phantom Menace himself. All right, here. Check this out. Check this out. The connection between zeros and ones is considered common knowledge. Generally, people associate this connection with the concept of binary code and then just start talking about computers. I, however, would like to avoid going there. So, I'll ask this question. What occult or metaphysical significance do both 0 and 1 possess? Let's start at the beginning. 0. Infinite unexpressed potential, also referred to as the triple blackness of space. My plan right now isn't to get into the triune nature just yet. I'll have other segments for that topic. What I will do, however, is speak about one aspect of that nature, and that is the infinite side of it. 0 and 1 are equally infinite, but in differing manners. Said differently, the quality or density of the infinity is different. Similar to how an ocean can be all water, yet at various depths, the quality of the water is different. You can say that 1 is the densest aspect of 0, or even that 0 is the most refined aspect of 1. 0 is the aspect of that 1 which is unexpressed. The simple quality of being unexpressed invokes the possibility of being expressed. The simple quality of potential invokes the process of unfolding itself. For 0, as infinite as that infinite unexpressed potential is, it is still one thing. The natures of 0 and 1 are deeply rooted within each other. They define one another in a certain respect. Just like I said, as infinite as that infinite unexpressed potential of 0 is, it still remains one thing which invokes the qualities of 1 simultaneously. Either way, regardless of how intertwined the two of them may be, their qualities and nature exist in somewhat of a contradictory form. Paradoxical even, if you will, which I would say now warrants us doing a bit more of a deep dive into the qualities and nature of 1. Also known as the one thing that is all things. The one thing that is all things is simply that. 1 is the expression of unity, of wholeness, one thing. Representing that geometrically is a point. 1 is the quantity that expresses the quality of unity. A unity is a whole composed of units. Therefore, while 0 is a unity composed of no units, 1 is a unity that contains only one unit. This is the one thing that is all things, as opposed to all things as one thing, which is 9, but that's a discussion for another segment. The point here is that that one thing that is all things, 1, is simply that, only one thing. There is no place in which you will find the one thing, because that place would be something other than the one thing. There are no thoughts that the one thing thinks, because those thoughts and even thinking itself would be something other than the one thing. When it comes to the one thing, there is simply that one thing. 0 is the no thing, the thing that possesses no thingness of its own, the unity that possesses no units of its own, and the 1 begins it all. But 1 is only that one thing and that alone. The question that somebody might ask next is, how can that one thing ever be anything else if it is only one thing and nothing else? How can anything ever be created at all? The answer to that question is illusion. But I will cover illusion, however, in a different segment. As far as the left-hand path is concerned, and really, occultism in general, 0 and 1 does not mean that everything is a computer. That's short-sighted and a terrible relationship with reasoning. Binary code is an application of those underlying principles and not an explanation. What I've been speaking about in this segment here are the qualities of these two quantities. The number, as we generally know it, is a symbol for a quantity, and these quantities possess or express their own qualities. Know these qualities of each of these quantities, and the keys of ontological metaphysics are most certainly yours. The alternative is super spooky human computer. It's up to you. Okay, smooth. Before asking how can I be anything else, I can ask how can I be anything if being is 2? Oh, how can one be anything if being is 2? Before asking how can one, that wasn't an I, that's a 1. How can one be anything else? I can ask how can one be anything if being is 2? If all things are one thing, how can there ever be anything else? I think that's what you're trying to ask, which is a pertinent metaphysical question. It's a very pertinent metaphysical question, especially if people who say I'm all this stuff. Everything is one thing. You know, if everything is just one thing, how can there ever be anything else? The answer to the question is illusion. And that is 2. 0, 1, 2. Illusion is the mechanism by which that which is one thing and only one thing can be anything else, ever. It's the possibility of being something other than just that one. Because this is why Christ is the Savior, because it saves the Father from himself. The Father doesn't give the Son, he is the Son. He's the mechanism by which the process is finished. You go from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 and rise as 5. Horus is Osiris. Jesus is God the Father. All right? Hercules and our other children, Zeus, are Zeus. Within the context of itself. It can appear to be something else. Yeah, that's what illusion. That's how one gets beyond that. It's by virtue of 2, which is the capacity to appear something else. That's what illusion is. Illusion doesn't mean it's not real. It means it's not what it appears to be. All right. And once you have that 1 and 2, that gives you the 3. But what I want to point this to before asking that, I can ask how can one be anything if being is 2? I'm still in the divine child. You never leave the divine child. Divine child, that's the whole thing. Like, that's what I'm saying. 0 and 1. That's what I talked about when I talked about the densities of the fool. Because people, you're quick to jump on 0 and the fool, and I'm the fool, and I'm going to become the magician. The fool is 0 is triple dense. This is why I call it triple blackness of space. It's triune. See, when you just call the triple blackness of space the Great Mother, you miss the details and the nuance. It's mother, it's feminine in name. It's triune. It's the Father, Mother, and Child. And the father and mother aspect of the triple blackness of space they don't go through they don't do all this experience stuff. All this experience stuff is the realm of the divine child. That's the only part of the fool that becomes the magician. The other two exist necessarily. It's like points and lines in geometry. Points and lines in and of themselves don't have, well, I guess you could say lines has one dimension. But they don't. The bigger point being that they don't enclose space. They cannot enclose space in and of themselves. But once you have points and lines, you can have the triangle, which is the first geometric shape to enclose the space or the medium upon which it exists. The triangle is the first shape to enclose the medium upon which it exists. I have to say it again. The triangle is the first shape to enclose the medium upon which it exists, from which it was begat and conceived. Beget is a masculine term and conceived is a feminine term. So when I say begat and conceived, I mean the point and the line, the father and the mother. So the divine child is the third part. When you understand the dynamics of the Trinity, you can decode the rest of these maps because it's just so fucking fundamental. Oh shit! Fucking talking. I should just left this up. Here we go. All right. Here you guys get a sneak peek of some of the good stuff. Where's the other one? All right. First things first. We're talking about 0 and 1, the tenfold pattern. Okay, I want to get to that, but I got to make sure we keep this in mind. I have to drill this home. The diagram I show here on the left, that's in the shape of this 90-degree angle. It's the same diagrams that you've seen before. Okay, it's look. If you're looking at just the tree of life, here's your primordial realm. Here's your non-physical or time-space, see this? And here's your space-time. If you're looking at the chakras, it's the same way, okay? You've seen this diagram before. It's like when I showed you the tetrahedron versus the four worlds diagrams, okay? It's the same territory, different map, okay? But it's not even that different from the other maps. See, I'm trying to make a map that will fit to the thing you are now. Will fit to the thing that you are now. What do you mean? Our body hasn't changed. What do you mean? The thing you are ain't your body, kiddo. Oh, I know that. What I'm saying is, no, you don't know that. You don't know it enough not to make that mistake yet. And it's subtle, and it's small, and it's nuanced, and I get it. But anyway, when we're talking about the tree of life, this is how I would rather look at it for you, because I don't just like it with this. I like to include the Kalipov. Okay, I don't see a I understand the reason. I would prefer not to hide it, because when you're talking about the tree of life, where there's no da'af, it's this blue part here. Okay, it's flat. It's facing downward. Like, look. It's like something on a piece of paper, like a diagram on a piece of paper, right? Like the diagram is the same, but if I have it flat like this, it's still going to appear the same. All right, that's not changing it. So you're looking at it from a certain angle. Like where is it? That's not in this. Oh yes, it is. Fuck yeah, it is. Boom. This one. You're looking at it from a particular angle. You got perspective A and perspective B. Okay, you got perspective A and perspective B. Just in case you were wondering, this is from the New and Improved Boot Camp, which is only going to be available for people in the community. But I'll talk about that in a different episode. Anyways, we're looking at this. Okay, so when I'm showing you, when you're looking at the tree of life, okay, you're looking at one angle. Let's say you're looking at A angle, okay? But if you were to look from B angle, you could see this. But because you're looking from angle A, all you see is this. Because you're looking at the face of the bottom. You're looking at the face of the bottom. Now, why do I say that? Because the Qalipoth is behind the tree of life. If you take this tree of life and lay it down, you'll have that behind it, perpendicular. Okay? And you can start right there at the point of Da'ath. The point of Da'ath is the lowest point of the Qalipoth. It's not the lowest Sephiroth. All right, let me go back to the Adam Kadmon. Because when I'm saying it's the lowest point of the Qalipoth, I'm not saying it's the lowest Sephiroth. Okay? Here, let's go back here. This is the lowest Sephiroth on the Tree of Life. The feet are touching the highest point of Malkuth. They're not the lowest Sephiroth. The feet are not the lowest Sephiroth. They are touching it. They are in contact with it. Okay? You see where the word kingdom is here? That's the lowest point of Malkuth. It's not Malkuth. It's the lowest point of Malkuth. That's what I mean here. So when you're looking at the Da'ath, that would be like the word kingdom if this whole thing here was the Qalipoth. Okay, you're looking at the bottom of the Qalipoth. This is why I don't like the Tree of Life, because there's so many. It's already dense. It's dense, but then there's pieces kept out. Like, bro, this is something from a spiritual system, a framework. It's not these people were mapping out ultimate truth, and if you really, really know the truth, then you know these words in this way. It's another map. Okay, so this is the map I prefer to use. Okay, because it invokes the idea that the Qalipoth is perpendicular to the Tree of Life. So yeah, once again, this is the map that you've seen before, but what I want to get into now is on a different set of slides. Boom. Because we've been talking about 3 and 4 this whole fucking time. We've been talking about 3 and 4 this whole fucking time. I don't stop talking to you about it. Look, we got the triple bit, the 3 densities of 0, the triple blackness of space in relationship to 1, or the magician. So the 3 densities of the fool in relationship to the magician. Okay, 3 and 4. 3 unexpressed, where 0 is infinite potential unexpressed. 0 is infinite potential unexpressed. 1 is infinite potential expressed. Infinite potential expressed. It's really simple. But 3 and 4, the relationship between 3 and 4 is the show, is the story. The stories and all that fucking buildup was for Jesus. All that buildup was for Horus. You can't just start with Jesus in the beginning. Look. The Son was always there, I'll say that. But you don't start with the story of Jesus at the beginning. You start with the build-up. The build-up. Anyways. But you're looking, motherfuckers will think the build-up is just fluff, it's just superfluous. But no! Drama is life. The build-up is not superfluous. The build-up start the whole damn thing. Once again, 3 and 4. You gotta understand the Trinity. It's so imperative. It's so imperative. But motherfuckers would rather just repeat a few words and say, I get it. Anyway. Tree of Life is a 10-fold pattern, okay? It's a 10-fold pattern. I showed you the video of 0 and 1. Alright, the whole thing starts with 0 giving rise to 1. Okay? Now, like I said in the video, some people will see 0 and 1 and they immediately think, oh, this must mean computer. No. Binary code is an application of what we're talking about. It is not what we are talking about. Binary code is an application of the relationship between 0 and 1. It is not what we are talking about. Binary code, it must mean everything's a computer. No. You can reduce a lot of a computer down to binary code. Yes, you're correct, but that's not all a computer is. All right, it's just, that's what I'm saying. Motherfuckers will misinterpret one thing and then try and apply that misinterpretation to other things, and with no metric as to how a framework is supposed to work aside from whatever resonates with me, which secretly just means whatever I feel like. Like, there's no order to it. And so when you're confused, you're not going to realize why you're confused. You're not even going to recognize it as confusion because you've numbed yourself to the idea that you could be confused about anything. Oh my God, it's so disgusting. And I just want to eat it, but I can't. I have to let it be there, let it blossom and unfold. I have to play with that mud pie. Okay. 10-fold pattern. What initiates all of this is 0 giving rise to 1. Okay? Well, when you see 10, this is a different relationship. This isn't 0 giving rise to 1. This is 0 next to 1. Okay? To put some of that idea of what the significance of that is. Okay? Let's look at the relationship between 3 and 4. Starts off where 3 is giving rise to 4. By 7, you have 3 and 4 working together. At 12, 3 and 4 are intermixed. Okay? Do I have to explain that more? What? No. 3 plus 4 is 7. You can't add 3 and 4 until 3 gives rise to 4. Once 3 gives rise to 4, then you have afforded the capacity to add 3 and 4. Okay? But if you don't add 3 and 4, you can never multiply them. But that's math. But that's basic arithmetic. But then I'm thinking, no, niggas want to learn about spirituality, but they're not going to be able to decode any of this stuff without some of the basic, like the trivia. That's what I'll go over. And that's what I'll start talking about, is that. Because... and the motherfucker had got the nerve to talk about summoning a demon and being possessed by something. No, you guys don't understand basic symbolism. That's why you misinterpret all of this, but you're not even ready to contend with the idea that you've misinterpreted any of this, because your personality is deeply invested in the idea that you kind of get some of this. God damn. I'm so disgusted. I'm not disgusted because something's wrong with you. I'm disgusted because I can relate. I can identify with that. I get it. Fuck. Anyway, the relationship between 0 and 1, okay? So when we're at 10, this is the 4th Trinity. This is the 4th iteration of the Trinity, okay? Hold on, I was using this one. Boom. There we go. This is the 4th iteration of the Trinity. This is completion. All right. This is when the work has been. This is. Let me say this right. It's the completion of what was started with 0 and 1. It's the full completion of what was started with 0 and 1, okay? It's the fundamentals of all of Malkuth, all of the physical world. Every iota of the physical world contains 1 through 9. Why do I say that? Why do I say it contains 1 through 9? Because the 0 is there. That's what 0 is. That's what 0. Okay. Stop. You put the 0 next to the 1 after you go past 9 as a marker that you've gone past 9. That's why we put the 0 next to the 1 and then start back up going through 9 again. That the 0 is a placeholder. All right, it represents, it has the infinite potential unexpressed. It's the 1 through 9 unexpressed. But in being unexpressed, it still stands as a symbol or a marker for the presence of 1 through 9, even though they may not be yet expressed. Okay? I gotta find out why that one bothered me so much. Because so much of it seems like it would be self-evident if people were actually doing half of the research they claim to do. We're going to get together and we're going to do the research together. We're going to do the research together. So you're learning together. We're going to do the research together. So that even though all you've done is just listen to me, even if you just lurk, you can actually have the experience of doing the research, I guess. I'm a piece of shit. Great explanation. Sorry, I completely forgot about the chat. I was in it, man. Shippy, Hippie Sean's still here. I'm disgusted too, bruh. Look. You join me in disgust. I'm gonna join you in being sad, bruh. Like we got it. It's in it. We in it, bruh. I'm bringing the punch and chips to the pity party. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go over the trivia with niggas. Anyways, 10 is completion. Okay, you've completed what was begun. You've completed the work that was begun, and 11 and 12 is building on it. Okay, 0, 10. Excuse me, because once you hit 10, all right. This is like entering 10 is like going from 9 to 10 is like going from 3 to 4. This is why that relationship is so fucking pertinent. The relationship between 3 and 4. Because once you hit 3, you're basically done. I mean, look, the triple blackness of space, unexpressed, it's triune. You don't really need anything beyond 3. But to the degree to which you do, now you got this 4th aspect. All right, and the relationship between 3 and 4 is the same thing we're dealing with here. It's not the same thing, excuse me. It's a similar relationship. It's a similar dynamic, okay? And so we get to 9, which is 3 threes, which is the supreme version of 3, okay? Which is all things as everything. 1, the monad, is all things as one thing. The monad, all things as one thing. 9, which is 3 threes, which is all things as everything. All things as everything. 1 is all things as one thing. So 9 and 1 are both showing you all things. This never stops being all things. But all things as one thing is the monad. That's the oneness. All things as everything, that's 9. That's the 3 threes. Okay? The real David Goodlow. They who study together grow together. Yeah, man. We gotta do some group studying. It's okay, man. I'm gonna be at the playground and we're gonna be doing the group studying together as a family. Yes. We're going to grow together as a family. No more running the streets. I don't need to go to the gas station to get a pack of cigarettes and milk. We're going to grow together as a family. It only hurts a little bit. Universal Content, checking in from Australia. Oh, down under. Okay, I think I saw you before. I remember my comment about the Barbie movie. Good to see I'm reaching the other side of the planet. Welcome to the show, man. All right, let me get back into this. The tenfold pattern. The Trinity is a threefold pattern. Chakras, that sevenfold pattern. We're talking about the tree of life. It's a tenfold pattern. Okay. That's why I'm not going to talk to you about the clip off, which is an 11-fold pattern, because if you don't get the 10-fold pattern, 11 ain't gonna make no damn sense. Okay. The tenfold pattern. Remember, it's just like that. It's similar to the relationship between moving from 3 to 4. Okay, so you already have everything at 9. Remember, you had all things at 1, but it was only one thing. Now you have all things as everything. Okay? 10 is completion, where every iota of what we call the physical world contains everything that's come before this. You want to talk quark, you want to talk atom, you want to talk however you motherfuckers decide to ontologically categorize your conception of matter. This is the root of matter. The root of matter is that all of it already contains all of the non-physical. Almost spilled my coffee. Fucking me. It already contains all of the non-physical. That's what I'm saying. Like, all your God body shit, it applies to a roach. It applies to a particle of dust. You tell me how it don't apply to a particle of dust. Fuck you. It's nothing special to be something in the physical world. Yes, the physical world is divine. Yes, but that's because, what is it? The tenfold pattern, okay? This is the interesting thing. Because like when we're talking about the sevenfold pattern with the chakras, we can immediately go to 3 and 4, which is usually the easiest thing to explain. But with the sevenfold pattern, we could also have the 6 and 1 idea, which would take you to the cube with the center point. We can also have the 5 and 2, which leads you to the intra connection, which is what I want to get into now. Because I don't usually talk about 6 and 1 or 5 and 2, because I think it's a bit redundant. If we're going to 7, it's easier for me to tell you about 3 and 4. But when we're looking at the tenfold pattern, it's the tenfold pattern. Where's the photo I had? What's inextricably necessary for a tenfold pattern is a fivefold pattern, right? And when we're talking about the 5, because we have to talk about 5 a little bit to do the chakra. Here we go. The chakra lecture. But what was that? Here we go. Here, look at this, okay? I want you to understand intra-connection and inter-connection, okay? I'm so glad I made these diagrams because it's pertinent. As a whole family who fights, yep, that's what family does. We fight, we argue, we scrap, we have disagreements, we hug, we love each other. Family. Father and family. Don't eat your kids. Don't abandon them. And guide them. Hey, anyways. Interconnection and intra-connection, okay? These 3 points here, they are interconnected. The most proximal point is connected directly to the next most proximal point. Okay, this is a picture of interconnection. This will be a picture of the intra-connection, which isn't really relevant at this point. See, at 3, you can't really see what this means yet. But let's continue. All right, no, there we go. 4, all right, here the points are interconnected. ZJ, good to see you in the chat, sir. Welcome to the show. Here the points are interconnected, okay? Each point is connected to the point that it's most proximal or closest to, okay? Here is the intra-connection, where the points that aren't the closest or the most proximal are connected, okay? So let's take this this top left corner right here, right? It's connected and interconnected to 2 other points, right? Immediately. It's interconnected to 2 other points, but it's intra-connected to 1 other point. And in having this intra-connection, you get the cross within, okay? And once again, this is pretty much like the triangle, where the inter and intra-connection aren't doing too much, okay? But seeing how it moves from the triangle to the square, you can see the intra-connection is waking up, I would say. It's waking up, okay? And you'll see it wake up for real in 5, okay? Here's your fivefold, okay? These points are interconnected. Remember, now to do an intra-connection, you connect to the points that are not already interconnected. The ones that are not proximal or closest, okay? So this is the beginning. I'm gonna fill it out for you. But remember, you have the interconnection and the intra-connection, okay? You can consider the interconnection, the exterior, the appearance, and the intra-connection, the interior, or the essence, okay? Or you can do it the other way around. We can even debate about it. I'm not against it. See, bro, I be giving niggas the holes, the places we can have a debate about the shit. The motherfuckers just like, no, we're all right. No, we're not all right. Argue about it. Pieces of shit. Anyways, here is the intra-connection of the fivefold pattern. Okay, so you have the interconnection, which is giving you that outer pentagon, and the intra-connection, which is giving you the pentagram on the inside. But the thing to remember, the thing to point out, is that the interconnection is reflected and reversed in the intra-connection. The interconnection is reflected and reversed in the intra-connection. So the intra-connection reflects the interconnection, and you can't see it until 5. And you can't see it, or rather, I wouldn't even simply say that you can't see it, but it isn't significant until you get to the fivefold, okay? But, because we're trying to talk about 10, right? 5's got 5 in it. You put the 2 5s, it's like one way I like to conceptualize the idea of the shape being reflected within itself is sexual reproduction, right? Sexual reproduction. Let's say that the fivefold is you got your Vitruvian man, but then this inner reflected pentagon, the same shape, reflects the same shape like a hologram. That's your DNA, your sex stuff, like your sperm and ovaries and stuff. Because all 5s have that 5 in them, right? But they use that 5 in them to make new 10s. Because having 5 in it makes it a 10 already. But it can't proliferate that. It can't do what reality at large does until it becomes that 10 part. Now I'm going over their heads. Because I'm talking about what I want to talk about. What do you need to know about this in order to talk about the Tree of Life, okay? Mostly that 5 and 5 come together to give you 10. I want to give you an idea of what 5 is to understand what type of a harmony we're bringing together here. What type of forces are coming together. Because remember, these aren't things out there. These aren't superstitious, spooky things out there. As cool as that sounds, they're not. As cool as that is, they're not super spooky things out there. These are concepts, ideas that have been around that are self-evident when you know how to look. It's not when you know what to look at, when you know how to look. And the how is what people are missing because they're missing the nuance. Okay, the tenfold pattern. So this is just like going from 3 to 4, it's 9 to 10, okay? Where's the other image I want to show you about the threefold pattern? It's in here. I know it is because I was just looking at it. Fuck me, bro. Where was it? I was just looking at it. Now I feel like a piece of shit. Damn it. How embarrassing. And I was just looking at it because I was thinking, no, don't put that on here. No, don't put that on here. Look, okay, the biggest thing to remember about tenfold pattern, and this is something that people don't usually talk to you about in the Tree of Life. I'm sorry, I get so caught up in fucking looking for these pictures. One of the things people don't usually tell you about the Tree of Life is that Malkuth is triple dense, and so it's representing 10, 11, and 12. Okay, there's a polar relationship. Where's the auric one? Let me bring back the auric Tree of Life so I can point this out to you. Where is the auric Tree of Life? Here it is. The top and the bottom are in a polar relationship. The top and the bottom are in a polar relationship. Whereas Kether at the top is the thing that is pure and giving rise to the rest of the tree, so to speak. Malkuth is the result of all of that. Okay, this is part of the reason it's so dense. It's the result of everything. It's not the cause. It's not the ultimate cause. It's the ultimate effect. Okay, Malkuth is the ultimate effect down at the bottom. It's triple dense. So even though you're seeing, this was again, fucking tree of life. Even though you're seeing only Malkuth, it's talking about 10, 11, and 12. 10, 11, and 12 are inextricably connected. All right, but usually you only get to talking about 12 when you're looking at the 12-fold pattern, something like the zodiac. But they're not telling you about, because usually when you're looking at the zodiac, they're not telling you about the tree of life. Okay, but remember, it's a map. Where is the picture I had? Ah, here it is. Here it is. There we go. There we go. That's what I was fucking looking for. Okay. Let me see how it looks. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Malkuth, triple dense. Remember, you're in the fucking world. What it's looking like in the fucking world. Let me give you the good Adam Cadmon, bro. Let me give you the good Adam Cadmon. Put these together as I talk about this. Where's my good Adam Cadmon? Oh, I like that one. Here we go. 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 All right. Check it out. We're talking about Malkuth, right? We're talking about Malkuth. We'll come all the way down here. So this is all you niggas see. Look, we're talking about Malkuth. 10, 11, and 12. Okay? Physical world is not the third dimension. It is experienced three-dimensionally, yes, but it is not the third dimension. Why is it not the third dimension? Because if it was the third dimension, then what you're saying is that dimensionality starts in the physical, then it does not. The physical world is the result of the unfolding of dimensionality. It is the residue. It is the bottom. It is the shit. It is the shit. It's the dirt. It's the lowest. It's Earth. Remember, the planet is named Earth. Like the fruit orange is named after its color. If I had a king, I could name the king king. And if I said, what's it like to be king, you wouldn't know if I'm talking about the position or the person. All right? The planet is named Earth. Earth is all of the physical world. So anything that you can conceive of made of particulate matter, even if that particulate matter expresses in a wave that we call energy, all of that is Malkuth. All of that is Malkuth. Not only every single galaxy and cosmos out there, but every single iteration of that timeline. All of it's a dense collection of space-time continuums. And so it's not just one particular thing. That's what I'm saying. Motherfuckers are so caught up in their own personal narrative and trying to map this to their personal narrative, but not understanding that's what they're trying to do. And so they'll ask dumb questions, but it's okay, because I'm here to answer the dumb questions. The ground of being. Yeah, you could say the ground of being, but you see, the word ground is tricky there. This is why I would say earth, but see, the word ground is tricky there. Because let's say you're talking about electrical systems. The ground is like saying, okay, it's neutral. Or you could be saying that the ground is the beginning or the foundation of it. And that's wrong, because Malkuth isn't the foundation, it's the end result. But if you're saying ground as the residue or the collection of particles, like earth in the four elements, then yeah, I would agree with that. See, ground is a tricky word. But there we go. I like that. I would say, really, if we're talking about the ground of being, my opinion would be the Kalipov. Because the physical world is the residue, it's the shit, it's the end result. It's the bottom. It's the bottom. Like, one way I like to talk to my clients about it is like, okay, let's say you got a pair of feet standing on the earth, right? Standing on the ground, standing on some dirt. All the dirt that the feet are standing on is the physical world. The imprint in the dirt that the foot makes, that's the body. Okay? So you got the dirt, which is the physical world, and the imprint in the dirt is the body. Now, if you were to pick that foot up off the ground, it'd probably be some nasty dirt stuck to the bottom of the foot, right? The dirt that's stuck to the bottom of the foot that would come along if you tried to pick the foot up, that's your personality. That's your personality. When I say your personality, I'm including your shadow. I'm including the shadow in that, okay? All that personality level stuff is dirt that's stuck to the bottom of the foot. My nigga, I'm trying to talk to you about the non-physical conception of self, which is that first layer of skin on the bottom of the foot. I'm trying to get you back to looking at yourself as the motherfucker that needs to be standing up and not the print in the dirt. Not the print in the dirt. That's your body. The dirt is the physical world. The nasty dirt stuck on the bottom of your foot is all this shit that you say is you. See, okay, pick up your foot. Pick up your foot. What is you? And you pick up your foot and all this nasty dirt is stuck on the bottom of it. This is my answer. Fuck you. God damn it. You're not that either. The shadow work is part of going through some of that. All right. And see, if you don't know how to tell between your foot and the dirt, you identify with the dirt, you dig too deep and cut yourself. You don't really know how to even comprehend what's happened. And this is part of the reason, like motherfuckers who get into the dark shit and they get fucked up, they go crazy and stuff because they're so deeply identified with the dirt on the bottom of the foot that when that actually starts to get challenged and ripped apart and torn away, they think they're being destroyed, that they themselves is being destroyed because all they think of themselves is the dirt on the bottom of the foot. So look, when we're talking 10, 11, and 12, I'm just talking about the dirt. I'm just talking about the dirt. And I'm not saying that to dismiss it. I'm not saying that to dismiss it. But it's only 10% of the tree. It's only 10%. Okay. So look, let's say 10, 11, and 12, right? I told you space-time, Earth, the physical world, is a collection of multiverses. A good way to look at it here, I have another picture, which is a good way to intuit this. If you ever seen a rope that's made of different, more smaller ropes, smaller down. Where is that, right? It's ropes entwined with ropes entwined with ropes. Here we go. This is the image I want to give you. Okay. So if we're talking about space-time, we're talking about 10, 11, and 12. We're talking about it like this, okay? 12 is going to be the whole collection of ropes, okay? So if you're looking at it like this wire, it's not just called a cord, is it? Like the thick industrial wire, right? That's like looking at 12, okay? 11 is going to be each and every individual continuum or cluster of continuums, all right? 10 is going to be the, how do I put this? I don't know. But I want to make sure I give you the analogy correctly. That's how I'm supposed to say it. There we go. 12 is the whole wire, okay? 12 is the whole wire. 10 is the individual strands, all right? The individual continuums. 11 is the dynamic and the manner in which they come together and intertwine, okay? Let's keep this picture up. Let's replace this one. No, we're going to put you there. And we're going to put you here. All right. So when we're talking about 12, 12 is the whole collection of intertwining space-time continuums, linear space-time continuums, okay? 10 would be individual continuums, individual lines. And remember, once again, please, these are maps. These are maps. These are maps. What we're looking at are concepts and dynamics. All right, matter has got motherfuckers looking to find particulate matter and dimensions out there, and motherfuckers are missing it, bro. There's nowhere to go. Like, look, they're thinking about infinite potential, or infinitely many potential continuums. Infinitely many potential continuums. If I bought a copy of Super Mario, there are infinitely many playthroughs already there. All right, I don't have to play all of them for that to be the case. I could never play all of them. Okay, so it's not about trying to see everything at once. Because if you're seeing everything at once, you're not seeing anything. You want to understand the dynamics of what we're talking about. Okay, you're not going to be able to map matter to spirituality. It's not going to work. It's not made for that. It's not made for that. And you can try and prove to me how areas you wrong. I can use this spoon to dig to China. Technically, you're not wrong. Technically, you're not wrong. Okay? But bruh, shovels, drills, earth movers. And you're so dedicated to, that's what I'm saying, motherfuckers' identity will be in the fact that the spoon is made for digging. They always told you it was made to eat. They even showed you pictures trying to program you of a nigga eating with a spoon. But really, the secret esoteric side of it is that you're supposed to dig with the spoon. And how can you prove somebody wrong when they say that? I can't prove somebody, I just said it, I can't prove it wrong. Technically, it's not wrong, but it's stupid. It's dumb. But if I never check myself, if I never even allow myself to be dumb, I wouldn't see that. Once again, me eating kids. Chill. 10, 11, and 12, okay? And we talked about the 12-fold pattern with the zodiac. I showed you the upward spiral. Where is it at? I'm pretty sure it's in this folder. Understanding 10, 11, and 12 is not super difficult. No, it's not in this folder. Wow, it's not in this folder. It's probably here. I just saw you. I saw you. 12-fold pattern. All right, 12-fold, where the whole wire and all of its dynamics and all of its individual continuums are the 12-fold pattern, okay? It's toroidal. We talked about this in the fucking Zodiac lecture. We talked about this in the Zodiac lecture. Where is it? Because that's pertinent as well. But it doesn't show it as well in this. Well, I got all kind of diagrams you niggas ain't ready for. Where? I know it's in this folder. And you see me? You see how adamant I am about I know it's in this folder? I could be strong or wrong about this. And I'm just sitting there talking about the shit in front of the bitches. Where the fuck? There's the pyramids. Bro, I'm sitting here talking about this shit is in this folder. It was in the Zodiac lecture, so I know it's here. There's the Taurus. Bruh. How can it not? If it's not in this folder and it's not in the other one, where the fuck could it be? Oh man, now I'm back to where I was at. Yo, there it is. Fuck! 10, right here, 11, the upward spiral, 12, it's actually a Taurus moving in a circle, okay? Oh my God, that was ridiculous. I don't know why, that was fucking stupid. I want to see if I can get all 4 of these pictures up here for you, okay? Because I want you to make the association between what I'm saying and what I'm showing you. Because it's the physical world is so simple, boo. The physical world is not even. It's not complex as you would think it is. I mean, there's complexities to it. There's detail to it. There are things to learn. Most certainly, I'm not saying to throw it away, but it's the misinterpretation of the spiritual stuff. That's my big hang up, guys. Lucid Bay, good to see you in the chat, bro. The spoon is made for digging, and that's just what it'll do. One of these days, the spoon's gonna dig right into you. Hell yeah. Who's saying that? Who's saying somebody famous saying that? I know someone famous. I'm not cool enough to know who it was. That's my problem. I'm not cool enough to know who it was. Okay. First things first. I know I want to show the where is. I thought this was that. No, where did I put that? Where did I put the Taurus? I just showed you this thing. I showed you niggas this. I just showed you. God damn it! I'm a piece of shit. I'm so sorry. Look, when I actually do the coursework, I'm gonna have all this stuff together. Like you can see, I'm putting together the slides. So when I actually do the coursework, the lectures are gonna be seamless. But for you niggas who just want it free, just want to sit and chill, lurk. Hey man, that's how I got it for you. What you mean, bro? I should get payment quality. Nah, nigga. Bro, I just had this fucking Taurus. Okay, I want this one here because I want you to see that as well. I wish I could fit all this shit on the screen. This is your Anu. Okay? This is your Anu. Motherfuckers talking Anunnaki and they want to tell you it's space aliens. No, they haven't done their research and they're still just repeating things, okay? That is your Anu. I'm telling you, giving you the physical world stuff. Because look, once again, 10 contains 1 through 9. So when I'm showing you the relationship between 3, 5, and 7 with the Anu, all of this is contained in every iota of the physical world. But there's the Taurus I wanted you to see. I'm so upset because I just had it. Guys, I'm a piece of shit. Nancy Sinatra? Is that who sang the song? This spoon is made for digging, and that's just what I'll do. One of these days, this spoon is gonna dig right into you. Fuck you, Arius. I'm right. Go ahead, bro. You good. You be right, man. Look, I showed you guys MAN before, too, as well. Here, let me go back to it. Because do I have to pull out the cipher as well? Do I have to pull out the cipher? We're talking about we're talking about the sphere, the circle. We're talking about the circle, but we're also talking about the torus, the sphere, and the spiral. But I can't just say that's what we're talking about because I've got to show you. You have to look at the same thing from different angles. But where is the Taurus I wanted? Where is the Taurus I wanted? I know I had this shit. Now I feel like a fucking idiot. It's not the Galaxy one. The Galaxy one is fire. I will admit. The Galaxy one is fire, but that's not the one I want to show you. Because I need you to intuit. I need you to be able to intuit the I need you to be able to intuit the pattern, the dynamic. All right. I need you to see all these together so you can intuit the dynamic. Bruh, I just saw it on the screen and I feel like a piece of shit not having this diagram. Remember, all right, tenfold, we're looking at just the regular spiral you would see in the zodiac. 11-fold, we're talking about the dynamic. So not only is the spiral involved, but the spiral is moving through a different dimension of the same process. Okay. When we're getting to 12-fold, we're talking about the whole torus shape. But now, where the fuck is my Taurus? I feel like a piece of shit. That's already that. There it is. There it is. There's my friend. All right. Let's fit you to the screen too. Okay, guys. All right. See, look. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 10, 11, 12. 10. Oh, you can't see that mouse on there. That's my mouse. Excuse me. 10. Circle. 11. It's moving up with that spiral. 12. It's the torus shape. And the torus shape is essentially giving, not only is it tracing the torus, because when you trace the surface of the torus, you're also tracing the surface of the hyperboloid. The hyperboloid is what's going in the center. If you look at this picture of the Anu, 5-fold on the outside, 7-fold on the inside. If you look at this picture of the Anu, it traces out the surface of the torus and the surface of the hyperboloid. Let's see once again. 10, 11, 12 is the result of everything that's happened before it. Okay, it's the end result. It's the residue. So anyone who's telling you got to activate something in your meat bag to get the spirituality right, they're wrong. That shit is pseudoscience, bro. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. Look. I'll put my foot in my mouth. Have niggas do some experiments. Not just tell me a nigga did the experiment. Who out here doing experiments on this shit? Huh? No one. Anyways, this is your Anu. Anu Naki. Naki is children of. Anu is the Most High. Anu Naki, children of the Most High. The things that are created as a result of the dynamic are the Anunnaki. The things that are created as a result of the dynamic are the Anunnaki. The things that are created as a result of the dynamic are the Anunnaki. These are not space aliens. No, bro, you don't even know about Nibiru. That's why you niggas need to learn the languages. Instead of just saying words, if you... Don't eat them. Explain to them the tree of life and the tenfold pattern. My apologies. My apologies. Okay. So, when we're talking about 10, 11, and 12, this is the physical world, okay? And this is the part most people are interested in. This is Malkuth. It's triple dense, okay? This is what I mean when I say it's triple dense. And that's diametrically opposed to Kether, which is it's the beginning of the possibility of different densities. Because before Kether, all there is the blank page. Okay? So there is no, to the degree to which density even exists, it starts with Kether. To the degree to which density can come to an end, you have the physical world, space-time. Because how does space-time exist? As an infinite matrix. There's no edges. It's not experienced as a closed-in space, even if that's the reality of it. Oh, shit. Damn, I gotta show you guys this. See, man, I be having the good shit for y'all. Y'all don't even know. God damn, I be having the good shit for y'all. Hey, let me minimize these. Bruh, you gotta see this. Because I usually get into dealing with you directly engaging your own perception of things. All right, when I say space-time is a closed space, I need you need to see it geometrically. That's the thing. You need to see it geometrically, and I get it now. I'm coming around to it, guys. You have no idea. Where's what I clipped? Is this it? Hold on, let me see. Because you guys got to see it. You got to see what I'm talking about. That's close though. I mean, you're gonna have to see, bro. When I come up with the course material, I'm telling you, you gonna have to see all that shit. I love it. Is this what I'm looking for? No, that's switching the inside, the surface of a sphere inside out. Where's the one I know I had this shit? Here it is. Here it is. Here, let's look at this. Let's look at this together. Here. And I'm gonna skip through it the way I want to, because I did time to go find it. You want to find it, you can come around to the course material, or you can just ask me for it. I'll send it to
you. Have you ever wondered how big the universe is? How many stars are there? Does space go on forever? The answer depends on the shape of space. Let's explore some possibilities. There's an interesting star. This star looks familiar. Haven't we been here before? What's going on? What kind of space is this where we keep seeing the same stars again and again? It's easier to explain in a two-dimensional universe than a 3D one.
How many stars do you think are right there in this image? How many stars do you think are in that image? Okay, I'm going to show you how he makes this, but how many stars do you think are in this image? Here, let me scoot up some. Let me scoot up some. Okay. Oh, God. Yeah, we're going to get into this a little bit here. And I tell you motherfuckers about Flatland, too. And no, nobody listens. Nobody listens. Everybody's like, Aries, fuck you. Okay, whatever. Here, watch this.
Easier to explain in a two-dimensional universe than a 3D one. But what would a 2D universe be like? Let's call it Flatland. Life in two dimensions has its problems. When two Flatlanders want to pass one another, they can't go around each other or to the side as we would, since they can't leave the plane. Our athletic Flatlanders must jump over one another to continue on their way. The Flatlanders live on the one-dimensional surface of their two-dimensional planet, just as we Spacelanders live on the 2D surface of our 3D planet. The Flatlanders' planet is orbiting a sun. Their sun is a two-dimensional disk, just as our sun is a three-dimensional ball. Like ours, their sun is just one of many stars in their universe. Let's watch the Flatlanders explore their universe.
What are we doing here? They're making an analogy between your experience of three-dimensional reality versus what experience would be in two-dimensional reality, okay? Two-dimensional reality is a shadow of three-dimensional reality. If I have a sphere and I have it right here and the light is shining, you see the shadow of it, you're going to see a circle, okay? And vice versa. I showed you the where is it at? It's the other set of slides. It's the other set of slides, my nigga. All right. I've showed you the paradox here between perspective A and perspective B. Okay, sphere, circle, line, point. All right. I'm not going to tell you which one you're looking at. You tell me which one you're looking at. But based on which one you're looking at, sphere, circle, line, point is going to tell you what else there is. Okay. Anyways, he's making an analogy about perception and traveling through our space and our environment. He's using the world of two dimensions to help comprehend and intuit the ideas about three dimension that we experience. Because a lot of it we take for granted. All right. Remember, how many stars were in that original shot? Okay, let me continue here.
They head straight off into space and are surprised to come across their own sun. Perhaps their universe is a sphere and they took a trip around its equator. Or perhaps it's a cylinder. Or a torus. Each of these surfaces is a possible shape for a two-dimensional universe. Note that we have taken advantage of our three-dimensional space to see something that two-dimensional flatlanders can't see directly. In a similar way, four-dimensional people could draw three-dimensional universes in their space, but that's another video.
We are looking at what the two-dimensional world cannot see directly. A lot of people are trying to use all this spiritual stuff and see it directly, as in with the physical body. You don't understand dimensionality. That's what I'm saying. Dimensionality is a conversation of scope and extent of perception. It's a conversation about scope and extent of perception. So if we're looking at just what you perceive isn't necessarily, well, dimensions aren't places, okay? You're perceiving a different dimension of a thing. Isn't you going to some other place, okay? But keep in mind, this is the perception from two dimensions. Make the analogy with our three-dimensional perception, okay? Because once again, I'm trying to tell you about the physical world. We're talking 10, 11, and 12. We're talking about the tree of life. I don't want you to confuse Malkuth with the rest of the tree. Because look, if you understand how Malkuth works, the chakras are the same thing, the zodiac is the same thing. What you really need to understand is the dynamics that these maps are mapping out. All right, because you understand the dynamic, that's going to tell you what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do. The how is the issue and not the what.
Fundamental domain in 3 dimensions, just as we used a square in 2D. We glue the left and right walls. Now the spaceship can travel around this finite universe, passing the same stars again and again. We glue the top and bottom. And finally glue the back to the front. Now the space has no boundary and the ship can travel in any direction. This space is called a 3 torus.
The space he's talking about is it's a fundamental domain. I have to go back now because I shouldn't have skipped over that, so you understand how they come to be gluing sides together on a fundamental domain. Yeah, I gotta show you that, don't I? I have to. Yeah, I thought I could skip over it. Nope. This is the playground. You don't skip things on the playground. It's all right. It's all right. All right. Let me show you how it works in 2 dimensions, and then we'll go back to what he's saying in 3 dimensions. Okay. This is how a fundamental domain is established.
We'll save a copy of it, cut the torus once, and deform it into a cylinder. Cut it again, and open it into a square. This square is a fundamental domain for the Flatlanders' universe. We now see their universe using only 2 dimensions. The Flatlanders can still travel about their universe as before. When looking at a fundamental domain, we must imagine that its edges are glued together. Anything leaving one glued edge returns at the other. The way we glue them determines the shape of the space. It doesn't matter where we put the cuts. We need cuts to draw the fundamental domain, but they don't really exist in the space itself. When our cut passes through the Flatlanders, they don't feel a thing. What do the Flatlanders see in this universe?
All right. This is the fundamental domain. It's taking that three-dimensional space and displaying it in 2 dimensions. All right. It can represent the entirety of that toroidal shape into 2 dimensions. Okay. It's called a fundamental domain. All right. So that's taking the Flatlanders world and making a fundamental domain. Now, what I showed you before here with this cube, this is a fundamental domain. But it's a fundamental domain of a 3-dimensional space. So what we did before was the fundamental domain of a 2-dimensional space. This is the fundamental domain of a 3-dimensional space, okay? Watch how he glues the sides together. Same way.
As we used a square in 2D. We glue the left and right walls. Now the spaceship can travel around this finite universe, passing the same stars again and again. We glue the top and bottom. And finally glue the back to the front. Now the space has no boundary and the ship can travel in any direction. This space is called a 3-torus. Let's ride the spaceship inside the 3-torus. Even though the 3-torus is finite, we have the illusion of flying in an infinite space. There are only 2 stars in this universe, but we see each one over and over.
Do you see the appearance of a place? Can you start to see what I mean when I say the appearance of a place? Because what's making this not seamless is the fact that the corners of the cube haven't been pulled back into infinity. They've been pulled back far enough for you to see them. Okay? When you pull those corners all the way back to infinity, there's no perception of them. I have another video I'll show you about that. But see, this is what I'm saying. I was thinking that the geometry was like stuff everybody knew because I learned a lot of this stuff in high school, you know, but it's not. And I have to figure out ways to make the connection. This is why I got to start with the trivium. All right, but when we're talking about the perception of the physical world, it's the result of a lot of shit. It's not where things start. Okay, remember, and see, look how many stars you can see here, even though there's only 3 in the cube. All right, let me continue. Let me go forward. That's a Mobius strip. Okay, because when we're looking at that fundamental domain of the cube, we don't know the shape of the larger space. Okay, because remember, when we're looking at this, we don't know necessarily what the shape is outside. Like when we're dealing with the Flatlanders, and we came to the fundamental domain that is this square, the original shape is a torus. It could just as easily have been a cylinder or a sphere, because that's how we got to the torus, by taking the torus and unpacking it into a cylinder and then unpacking it again into a sphere. Hold on, look. You take the torus, you cut it, let it be a cylinder, and then you cut it again to give you the flat surface of the square. All right? This is what we've done here. This is a 3-dimensional version of that, okay? But so we don't necessarily know what the original shape is outside of that. Here he was showing how one particular thing could be something like a Mobius strip, but you get that with the torus. I'm gonna go over that stuff in class. This is because it's so fucking irritating. Anyways, so yeah, there could be different points at which you come through the fucking Damn, I gotta show you that. Fuck, I gotta show it to you. All right, here, I'll start it off then. Damn it, I gotta show you that, or else that's not gonna make sense. I gotta show you that because you need to add this additional layer on top of what we're talking about. Okay, so here.
Time we glue the left and right sides with a flip. This surface is called a Möbius strip. When the spaceship takes a trip around, it comes back upside down. The flip makes a difference in the shape of space. A second trip restores it to its original condition. Let's watch the trip again on the original square. Now glue the top and bottom of the square with no flip. What do the Flatlanders see in this space? Looking up, they see the bottom of their own spaceship. Looking forward, they don't see their ship right in front of themselves because of the flip. Their line of sight keeps going across the bottom. When it wraps around a second time, it's flipped again, and they finally see the back of their own ship. The Flatlanders have the illusion of seeing a reverse copy of their universe, followed by a regular one. They see infinitely many images of their universe, half reversed and half not. What if we do this in 3D? Two pairs of faces connect as in the 3 torus. To make the flip, connect the top of the right face to the bottom of the left face and vice versa. After one trip, the spaceship appears mirror reversed. After a second trip, it returns to its original state. Let's see what this space looks like from the inside. As in 2D, we see infinitely many images of our ship. Half are mirror reversed, half are not. When we roll, our reversed images roll in the opposite direction. Life in this space is different than in the 3 torus, where all the copies of the ship move in the same direction, like a flock of birds. We fly this way and see ships in neighboring rows flying in the opposite direction. The mirrored images turn, as we do, to fly along paths that seem to cross ours, but they can never hit us.
An illusion. All those paths appear to cross and never do. In fact, they're the same fucking path. So we took the fundamental domain in the 3-dimensional space, and we said, okay, we can pull back the walls, and you can see it repeated over and over and over again. All right, we even flipped one of the walls. So now that the intricacy of how the repeating goes is this added another layer of intricacy on the repeating. Okay, but you can flip all of the walls. So that's just flipping 2 walls. You can flip all of the walls. You can flip all the walls. Here we go. All right, let's continue.
We could use a different shape for the fundamental domain. The space we saw at the beginning of this video was really a 3 torus containing only 96 stars. This space is finite but boundless. Astronomers face similar possibilities as they try to understand the real universe we live in, whose shape is still unknown. It is much larger than the simple spaces we've seen in the video and contains vast numbers of stars. But the same principle applies. What seems to be a star in a distant galaxy could be our own sun. The light we receive from it could be light which left the sun billions of years ago, traveled around the universe.
Physical world is an illusion. It's the appearance of a place. This doesn't mean that it's not real. It doesn't mean it's not real. It's the appearance of a place. Where did the fucking folder go? I'm gonna way. Thank you. All right, check me out. Now, because he's saying, look, We don't know the actual shape of space. But you can take that and see so many different things. So let me talk to you about the shape of space. Because what are we talking about? The tenfold pattern, the tree of life. But the Malkuth is 10, 11, and 12. It's triple dense, excuse me. I have this fucking image. I have this video. I know I do because I showed it to someone else. Here. So we're going to try, imagine that this dodecahedron is a fundamental domain. And what you're going to do is glue together opposite faces, just like we did with the last fundamental domain, okay? But watch how much more complex it can get. Remember, there was only 92 stars in the box that they were showing us, but it looked like a fucking galaxy. It looked like an infinite galaxy of stars. Let's say 92 was a small number. Let's say you put 1,000 in the box and then did that, and that's just on a box. This is a dodecahedron. If you ask me what the shape of the space of the physical world is, I would tell you it's a dodecahedron. All right, 12 faces. Each face is a pentagon. See, bro, this is where you want to go to. Not talking about the zodiac and the star systems. No, it's not. There's nothing to do with that. God, I hate niggas. But it's okay. Okay, don't eat them. Here we go.
Hydra. My project this summer was to create a program that would simulate the behavior of geodesics in these manifolds. Specifically, I studied the two different manifolds created by gluing opposite faces of a dodecahedron. Let's first look at the three-dimensional manifold formed by gluing together opposite faces of a cube. This is the simplest closed three-dimensional manifold to understand. It is called the 3 torus. In the 3 torus, objects that exit through the top of the cube will re-enter from the bottom. Here is how geodesics, the equivalent of straight lines, would appear in this new three-dimensional space. Looking at how geodesics propagate gives us an intuitive way to visualize how things would look in these 3 manifolds. We cannot see the whole of these spaces since the space we live and see in is three-dimensional itself.
When you're looking at these fundamental domains, you're looking at a slice when you're looking at this one, when we're looking into the 3D box, we're looking at a slice of a larger reality. We're looking at a slice of it because we can't see the larger shape because we're looking at the 3-dimensional manifestation of it. So we can't see the larger shape. This one is called a 3 torus. Okay, so what it's basically telling you is it's likened to that toroidal, fundamental domain. Okay, so once again, this is just with the cube. We saw the cube already. I want to look at the dodecahedron because that's what I would say is more pertinent here. Okay, and so when you use these geodesics, the geodesics being that little collection of lines in the empty space, when you use the geodesics. And I like the particular angle. There's 2 different angles she used to do it. The first angle gives you 3 dodecahedrons. I don't like this one. I like this one. I think this one is much more pertinent. But I mean, once again, we can have the debates about it. But anyways.
Or 108 degrees before performing the identification. Here, all the vertices are sent to one point.
Also, remember I was talking to you about the intra-connection of the 5-fold pattern. All right? I was talking to you about the intra-connection of the 5-fold pattern. Where's my intra-connection picture? Do I have the intra-connection picture? Why don't you just show me all the pictures I got? No. Okay, here. I'm going to pull up the... I showed you the intra-connection picture, right? Where is it, bro? Look. I'm trying to say, look, you're getting the worst possible form of this fucking lecture. But I'm telling you, the thing is here, we've been talking about this shit the whole fucking time. No, not over there. over here. Boom. What are you looking at? Didn't I tell you it was there? Hold on, I'm gonna show you about the geometry though. She's gonna show you the geometry. Because you need to see feel the implications of the shit. Okay, alright, here we go.
Here, all the vertices are sent to one point, and the edges come together 5 by 5. So there is now 582.5 degrees of space around each edge. This is more than in Euclidean space, much more in fact, and because of this, the Seifert-Weber space is what is called a hyperbolic space. Let's see how a geodesic behaves in the Seifert-Weber space. The behavior is much more chaotic. Here is a beam of geodesic rays in the Poincare space. And here is a beam of geodesic rays in the Seifert-Weber space. This program was created on the NeXT computer using Mathematica, and the graphics were done in GeoMView.
One more video to drive home that dodecahedron and its fivefold pattern. I'm telling you, bruh. I'm telling you, niggas is like, oh, bro, I already know all this shit. I get all this shit. You a fucking lie. You a fucking lie. Where is the other one? That's the platonic solids, that icosahedron. Where's the one where they fucking... Don't tell me I didn't clip that one out. Don't tell me I ain't clipped that one out. I had to have clipped that one out. Y'all playing with me. No. That's not it. That's not it. Just look. See, I'm bringing together for you the 12-fold pattern, the 10-fold pattern, and the 5-fold pattern. Where did I put that other fucking video? I don't want to search through that whole thing, but I have to because I need you to see what it looks like inside that 12-fold space. Fuck. Where did I have that dodecahedron where they're showing you the inside of the fucking 12-fold space? Because when they're showing you the inside of the 12-fold space, they're doing what I was talking about where they pull back the points to infinity. Because when we're looking at the points in almost pulled back, you can still see the little crosses in the corners. And so the space wasn't seamless. Fuck. Like I said, I'm still developing these things, and I gotta pull the specific things I want out of all the other math talk that no one's gonna be interested in. Fuck me, right? Damn, bruh. No, that's the circle surface. This isn't the one I just showed you, is it? Yeah, that's the one I just showed you. Yeah, see, I was able to fucking pull that part out. Where's the other one? No, that's that. Maybe I didn't do it. I know I did it, bro. That's the icosahedron stuff. Niggas ain't ready for icosahedron. Damn. Bro, I gotta go back and find the video now, because I don't even know where I had it. Fuck. No, I'm pissed I didn't have that. I could have sworn I was gonna have that. I was gonna hit you with that. But anyways, it's like the same three-dimensional space where the points are pulled back into infinity, and so you just perceive open, infinite space, okay? The physical world is the appearance of a place. It's the appearance of a place, and niggas are so caught up in being in the world and of it, they don't get it. They don't necessarily understand the distinction between the two, and so they don't make a distinction between the two. I feel like a dick. God damn, I'm gonna have to show you guys that video. I'm gonna have to find it and show you guys that video. So once again, back to the tree of life, because I'm about to wrap this up. I got to, bro. Because you don't need to know about, bro, that's what I'm saying. You don't need to understand these maps to do the work. I don't need to go buy a map of Atlanta to walk around Atlanta effectively. I don't. That's what I'm saying. Motherfuckers are clinging to these maps. Please, Aries, say the Sanskrit word. Oh, and so as soon as I tell a nigga, what's the Pakriti, right? As soon as I say Pakriti, I don't even need to know what that means. Nigga don't even know what that means. He say, oh man, that must be what I'm experiencing. Because you motherfuckers are looking for a way to map out and frame what they're experiencing. And that's fine. But you got to look at it as a frame, as a mapping, okay? That's the point. That's the point. So I don't care if you do the Kabbalah words, you know? Go do the Kabbalah words. But you need to understand what you're looking at. What you're looking at is a map of reality at large. A map of reality at large versus reality within the context of itself, okay? The Adam Kadmon, in the world but not of it. I'm pissed because the tree of life in Kabbalah are complex. That's not to say it's beyond explanation, but it is not necessary if you want to do the work. And if you want to do the work, you have to examine what is you. How are you thinking? What is your premises of thinking? Here, look. This is a little extra stuff for motherfuckers who actually stuck around, right? Because yesterday I was talking to a nigga. I've been working with this nigga for years, bro. This nigga's a homie now. I've been working with this nigga for years. And he's still asking me, how do I do this? He's like, I get all this. You can get it intellectually. You can get what the words mean. But he's asking, okay, how do I implement this? How do I use this effectively? It's a fair question. It's a fair question. How do you do it? What is you? Oh, here you go again. You're only mad at that because you really still don't know what I mean. What is you is the crux of how you do anything. How do I assimilate my higher self into my demonic self? Okay. Even look, that's the ontology you just brought me. Considering, let's say that's true. What is you in all this stuff? See, you want to ask me, how do I do this to myself? How do I do this with myself? Okay, well, first thing we got to figure out is what is yourself? And it's not because there's a right answer. It's because that answer is going to inform what context or framework you're using. The answer to what is you is going to inform what context or framework you're using. But the problem with that is most of you have no framework. You have a collection of different things that you say. And the only thing you really know how to do is reduce everything to the body. So you don't have a framework. And that's okay. Because I want to get in talking to people about building their framework. You know, that's me and my wife want to be helping people with this. Building your stuff. You say you want to do this. We got to get you from just dabbling to being into this shit. You know, motherfuckers like, well, I'll do that once I get better with my focus. I'll do that once I get better with my concentration. I'll do that better once I'm ready to really buckle down. No, you won't. Otherwise, you would have already done it. You don't need to wait till those things. In fact, figuring out how to do it in the midst of chaos is what makes you an expert. That's what makes you an expert. Imagine if Naruto had learned his Rasengan in the time of peace. He'd be as much of a bitch nigga as Baruto. Nah, he learned that shit during time of war, niggas fighting, nigga. All kind of crazy shit going on. That's when you learn the real shit, bro. The tree of life is the bottom. Is the bottom of the Kalipov, bro. So when you're talking about the Adam Kadmon, that's more so what I'd be talking about when I would say the Kalipov. But you can't understand that without understanding the tree of life. All right, this is why I give you guys the diagram I do with the perpendicular and the upright, because it's excuse me, it's making them separate. It's just showing you the distinctions. You don't know. You're not going to see the distinctions in Kabbalah, especially not today, because people have so many fucking different ways of trying to show you the same symbol. Like, this is what I mean. If a motherfucker looks up the tree of life, they got all these different ways of interpreting it. But nobody's telling you, hey, this is a map. This is a map. I don't really like this one. I'd have to fight somebody about this depiction of the tree of life and the clip. I'd have to fight somebody about this one. Because I don't like the idea that the Kalipov is the roots. We could go back and forth about it, and we'd have to come to a solid analogy or framework before I'd say the Kalipov is the roots. Because I don't like the implications of that. But, nobody debates and everyone's above debating, so whatever. Look, you see what I'm saying? There's so many different interpretations of the tree of life. I'm going to tell you, you don't need to know this to know how to do this work. What you're looking at is a map. Right? Imagine if a bunch of niggas who didn't understand the difference between a map and the territory came after a motherfucker who made the map and then started making new maps. And you want to get into the history of Western occultism so you understand who made what map, what their ideas were, what reason they changed the map from how it used to be for this way, or you got to get in the history of it. You can't just say, hey, look at this spooky doc. Here you go. Look, this is like another one of the things I was talking about in the beginning. Here's a nice big spooky diagram, and you see this. You put it on your wall. You post this on your Instagram, and you're like, here, nigga, I just broke down the whole thing to you. No, you cut out a lot of detail and condensed it. All right, and it's not to say this can't be useful. It's not to say this can't be useful. Okay, it's that. It cuts out a lot of the detail and nuance that the system has. It cuts out a lot of nuance. It cuts out a lot of detail. It cuts out a lot of what makes the difference. And this is the last part I want to talk about before I kill this. This is the last part I want to talk about before I kill this, because niggas just don't. You have to see it, because it's what we were talking about the last time with the sevenfold pattern. It's right here. It's nested inside that tenfold. It's right there. You got to see the cube though. Because we talked about it. But who cares we talked about it? Niggas already get everything. Shut up. Don't be mad about it. Don't be mad about it. I saw one nigga say something about 666, and I'll tell you, he's the only person who said something right about it. The first niggas love to say 666 is carbon. No. The 6 faces on this cube. Hold on, we'll get into that. But look, do you see this cube here? Here's the cube here. The thing that you want to keep in mind about this is that Tifereth can be the corner or the center of the cube. Tifereth will show you the corner or the center of the cube. And why is the cube significant? We talked about the movement of the sevenfold pattern is going across the face of the cube. God, I had this one too. Where did I put that? Here we go. Across the face of the cube. Remember, we're going across the face. Here's this two-dimensional representation of moving across the face, the span of the cube. Okay, you start on the outside. You hit the first wall. Here's the part you are before you hit the middle. Here's the middle. Here's the part after the middle. Here's the last wall, and here's beyond the last wall. Okay. Tiferet, this is what you're looking at here. This angle, where you see it as a corner and the center. Okay. I'm pointing out these different icons on the map because I want you to see it's a map. It's not telling you what you have to do. It's not telling you how to do it. It's showing you the territory through representation, through symbol, okay? It's showing you the territory through symbol. Where's my 666? Where's my 6? The cube is one way of looking at it. No, go. Where is my 666? Come on. This is why I should keep things in more organized folders, but I don't. Because I only organize shit like that when I set up a course or I set up a way to explain. Here we go. 666. 666. 666. This is your cube again. How many triangles you got? 6. How many lines you got? 6. How many points you got? 6. 6, 6, 6. We're not talking about carbon melanin. You're talking about the sevenfold pattern. Why is the 7? 3, one triangle, 3, another triangle, makes 6, and 7 seals them together. I can show you with the cube. Same thing. How many faces? 6. They're looking at the same thing. It's condensed it. Okay, because when you're looking at it as the cube, you don't think of the cube as 2 sets of 3. All right, you got 1 set of 3 and 2 sets of 3 coming together. You usually can't see it that way because everything's more seamless. When you do it in this form, you can see it easily. 6 triangles on the outside, made of 6 lines and 6 points. Okay, 6, 6, 6. It's talking about the sevenfold pattern. It's talking about the journey from the bottom of the cube to the top. Okay, across the span of the cube, or you can, if you're looking at it 2-dimensionally, across the span of a square. Okay. Where's the last image I have to show that? My 7 seals image. All right. You got the original circle. You're moving across the span of the cube. You're moving across the span of the cube to where you really what's connected to what's at the top. Remember I showed you the auric version of here. I gotta put all of them on the same thing because we are on the playground. You need to see all 3 of them at the same time because we are on the playground, and it's okay that we're on the playground. Look, okay, you need to see the cube here, but I mean the edges of the cube are curved, so it's more difficult to see. All right, you're talking about crossing the expanse of the cube. And we're talking about the primordial shit. This is what's giving rise to the fucking cube. All right, but you're talking Metatron's cube. Kabbalah is dense, and you don't need to understand all of Kabbalah to do the work. It's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. All right, but you don't need to understand it to do the work. The Kabbalah is not telling you what to do. All right, Kabbalah is not telling you what to do. Motherfuckers will call this a Merkaba and think that this is just the energy field of the body, which is we're going back into the ontological category of matter. 666. 666. 666. What is you? What is you? What is you? That's why the show got to end, God, bro, because niggas ain't actually interested in metaphysics. They like to say it. They like to say the word metaphysics because it gives you clout in a room full of niggas who don't know. Nah. All right, y'all. This has been the day. All right. This has been a day. We got 3 episodes left. I got stuff in the works. I got community in the works. Yeah, I don't even want to talk on it until I really got the shit done. Really got the shit set down. Anyone who stuck around to the end, I appreciate you sticking around, listening to me talk this shit. Yeah, man, we could go into kindergarten with it, bro. I'm gonna break it down to the most simple and fundamental things, and then I'm gonna hold your hand through it, bro. We got work to do. Holla at your boy. Yo, you get your Monday morning back. I've worn myself out. Thank you for sticking around with y'all. Y'all have a wonderful fucking day.